the House will appreciate it. Government expects nominal growth to be more than 11.1% shown in the budget. If the nominal growth is more than 11.1%, the GDP will be more than 258 lakh crore. The denominator will rise. Therefore, you can borrow and spend another 3,25,786 crore without breaching the fiscal deficit of 6.4. My second question is, again, a very simple question. Does the government propose to take route A? It already has the money. Or it proposes to take route B? It will borrow more. Or it will take route C, that it expects the GDP to be higher and therefore the fiscal deficit will be met at 6.4%. I want a specific answer. Is it A or B or C? And I'm willing to be corrected, none of the above. I'm willing to accept even an answer, none of the above. Is it A or B or C, or none of the above? My third question is, this is a matter of some concern. According to the budget, the gross tax revenue is 27,57,820 crore. Of this, corporation tax, this is on corporates, is 7,20,000 crore. Income tax is 7 lakh crore. Now, if you do the proportions, you will find that corporate tax accounts for 26.1% of the gross tax revenue. When this government came into office in the previous year, 2013-14, the gross tax revenue was 11,55,838 crore, of which corporate tax was 3,93,677 crore. As a proportion, corporate tax in the gross tax revenue was 34%. Now, what does this mean? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm simply giving the numbers. It's for the House to decide whether this is the right path to take or the wrong path to take. The corporates contributed 34% of gross tax revenue. Today, the corporates are contributing 26% of gross tax revenue. Why has this great benefit been conferred to the corporates, that they contribute 8% less of the gross tax revenue? Who's contributing the others? The rest. The rest is contributed by income taxpayers, middle class, upper middle class, other income taxpayers, excise payers or GST payers, which is you and I, customs duty, which is passed on to the common people, cesses, taxes on petrol and diesel. That accounts today for 74%. Corporates are only contributing 26%. 9 years ago, corporates were contributing 34%. It is because this government has conferred a huge bounty on bonanza on corporates. Is that fair or not fair is for the House to decide. And after conferring this bounty, I hear the Honorable Finance Minister go to the FICCI, go to CII, go to Chambers of Commerce and say, please invest. Why are you not investing? In fact, in one meeting, I saw her say, quite legitimately, sort of mildly scolding them for not investing. If God is in his heaven, the BJP is in power, and everything is hunky-dory, and the climate is extremely propitiate for investment, why, despite conferring a huge bonanza on the corporate sector, why are they not investing? That's my question. Why are they not investing? Private investment is low, sluggish. Why are they not investing? If all is well, according to the government, why is the private sector not investing? Despite conferring an 8% bounty on the corporate sector. You know what this 8% means, sir? 8% of 27 crore will be almost 1% is 10% is 2.7 lakh crore. 8% will be about 2.5 lakh crore. 2.5 lakh crore is the bonanza conferred on the corporate sector, yet they are not investing. My question is, why? And I want an answer so that we can be enlightened why the private sector is not investing. My fourth point is, in 1990-91, GDP at constant prices was about 25 lakh crore. That is when, after that, liberalization started. In 12 years, this GDP doubled to 50 lakh crore. In 10 years, it doubled again to 98, 99 lakh crore. So the first time the GDP doubled was, it took 12 to 13 years. Second time, 10 years, it doubled. Now, technically, therefore, one would expect, and this is a fair expectation, a government that has been in power for nearly 9 years should double the GDP in 10 years. If we are able to double the GDP in difficult times, 91 to 2003-04, that period is attributable to Mr. Narasimha Rao's stewardship and Mr. Vajpayee's stewardship. And then we were able to double it again in 10 years under Dr. Manmohan Singh's leadership. This government should double it again in 10 years. If 100 lakh crore should have become 200 lakh crore or should become 200 lakh crore in 23-24 when this government completes 10 years of government, will it complete 200 lakh crore? I know the answer for myself, but I want the Honorable Finance Minister and the government to answer that for the benefit of the members. Will you be able to double the GDP which you inherited by the time you demit office in 10 years? If you are able to double the GDP, I salute you. I don't want to make any prediction. I don't want to be a doomsday prophet. I wish them well, but please answer my fourth question. Will you be able to double the GDP that you inherited by the time you demit office in 10 years? Very good. My fifth point is, I mean, this is something which the Honorable Finance Minister has spoken, so it's nothing new. Of the 4 engines of growth, government expenditure is robust, and much of the 3,25,786 crore will go into government expenditure, which is good. I only wish that the expenditure is efficient and the outcome is as good as the expenditure. But that is a different matter. But what about the other three engines of growth? We know that private investment is sluggish. Just see two graphs in the Indian Express today. Private investment is sluggish. They are certainly not summoning their animal spirits. I don't know why it's called animal spirits. They should be human spirits. But somehow we have got used to calling it animal spirits of investors. Whatever spirits, as long as it's not alcoholic spirits. Why are they not summoning their spirits to invest? We know it's down. Private consumption is down. You can't deny that. High-end items are being sold. Mercedes-Benz cars and BMW cars. That is being sold. But what about consumption by the poor and the middle class? If consumption is good, why should 1/3 of our children be stunted? Why should over half of our women be anemic? These are all accepted statistics in government publications. Government's National Family Welfare Survey says these numbers. So consumption is low, except the high-end items of the very, very rich. Consumption is low. And the fourth engine, exports are low. The trade deficit is increasing. Our trade deficit with China alone is $73 billion. $73 billion with one country. Our trade deficit, the numbers are there in today's Indian Express. The graph of exports and imports and the gap known as trade deficit is higher. So if 3 of your 4 engines are not growing, why? There must be an explanation, there must be an answer. And has the government taken into account that many of the world's leading economies are headed towards a recession today? Britain is in a recession. Germany is in recession. The US is in a technical recession, except that their employment growth is robust. France and Italy may escape recession. Japan is, as you know, is quite happy with modest growth. China is growing at only 3.3% this year. Therefore, many of the countries are heading towards a recession. Leading economies are heading towards a recession. Welcome, Mr. Chairman. If many of the countries are headed towards a leading towards a recession, my question is simple, without blaming anyone. Does the government take into account, reckon the fact that the world's leading countries are heading towards a recession? If they are leading towards a recession, and if 3 of your engines are sputtering, how do you propose to deal with the situation? How do you propose to stimulate growth? This is my 5th question. Sir, you have come when I'm completing my 5 questions, but there is still one left, and that's the most important one. And I hope that...
I'm so glad the most important is kept.
I said at the first that I will keep it in the hope that you will come at that time.
Mr. Chidambaram is very senior. I claim to be senior to many, but he is the one acknowledged more senior.
Now, I said at the opening, the government is asking 500 crore for defense capital expenditure, for strategic roads. And I said, without a dissent, without a murmur, the government will gladly grant the government 500 crore or even more. But I want answers to a few questions. These are strategic and border roads in the northeast, is what the supplementary grant says. Now we know who is the threat in the northeastern border, northern and eastern border. So our questions are very simple questions, which we are asking again and again. Has China conceded anything on hot springs? Have the Chinese agreed to discuss the friction points in the Doklam Junction and in the Depcham Plains? You are creating more buffer zones. What does a buffer zone mean? According to our information, a buffer zone means there will be a no petrol area. China will not petrol. India will not petrol. Does it mean that we are no longer petroling? This is a supplementary demand. Modi ji, you were 13 years finance minister. I can speak on any subject when the demand is there for money. You know the rule. I want to know.
I'm sure anything and everything does not include anything and everything.
I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm asking questions.
No, I'll make only one suggestion. During your long career, you have had the occasion to hold very high positions. And by virtue of that situation, you are well in the know of governance issues. Any diversion
I'm not
or
diverting
even
on the subject. I'm asking on strategic and border roads.
No. As long as it was on that,
That's all
it was fine.
That's all.
Sir, it went little beyond.
That's all I'm speaking on. That's all I'm speaking. Pointed questions. Pointed questions. Only on that point. Does it mean that we are no longer petroling in areas where we were petroling? Number four, I'm not yielding. Number four, the US Defense Department spokesman has said, and our spokesman have also said, that there is massive building of infrastructure on the other side of the LAC, and equally our government is also building massive infrastructure on the other side. Now, what is this infrastructure on the other side? I don't want you to tell me what is the infrastructure on our side. That may be a defense secret. But what is the infrastructure that they are building on the other side? That your satellites will be capturing pictures. We know that they have built roads, bridges, settlements, helipads, communications. Now, please tell us, what is the massive infrastructure that China is building? And I don't want you to tell us what is the equally matching infrastructure that you're building on our side. I don't want you to tell us that. And finally, I saw a video clip and I was quite happy of the Honorable Prime Minister meeting the President of China at Bali, and they were shaking hands. I'm
Point of order.
Can I have the mic on, sir? Rule number.
Point of order.
Rule number 110 under legislation scope of debate. The discussion on a motion that the bill be passed shall be confined to the submission of arguments either in support of the bill or for rejection of the bill. In making his speech, a member shall not refer to the details of the bill further than is necessary for the purpose of his arguments, which shall be of a general character. So what is being mentioned by the honorable member, Mr. Chidambaram, is beyond the scope. We are not discussing legislation on border security. So this is completely unnecessary. I request that these remarks be expunged, sir.
Yes. The honorable member has raised an issue pertaining to applicability of Rule 110. Frankly, this rule has a rationale, and this rule does indicate contours within which deliberation has to take place. It says the discussion on a motion that the bill is passed shall be confined to the submission of arguments either in support of the bill or for the rejection of the bill. In making his speech, a member shall not refer to the details of the bill further than is necessary for the purpose of his arguments, which shall be of a general character. Without getting into details, I would urge the honorable member with his experience to take note of the essence and spirit of the rule.
Yes, we are
and also be cognizant that defense issues, security issues are of critical consequence.
Correct. I'm not asking for secret information.
Sir, 1 second.
I'm not asking any secret information.
A man at your level has to set afloat an ecosystem whereby on security sensitive issues we rise to a different level.
I have not asked for I have said what they don't have to tell us. I've even said that. Now the last question is, I was very happy to see the Honorable Prime Minister meet the President of China in Bali, and I saw a video. They're shaking hands. Our Prime Minister did the talking. In that short clip, I did not see President Xi say anything. I just want to know if, without getting into the details, was the border situation discussed? Just yes or no. Don't tell me what you discussed. Just tell me yes or no. Was the border discussion discussed?
This is beyond.
You are asking 500 crore for the border. You are asking 500 crore for the border, and I'm entitled to ask this question. I'm entitled to ask this question.
Mr. Chidambaram,
Sir, Parliament is not a chamber to
censor. Like a shrewd senior advocate who uses courtcraft to get into the terrain by saying, I am not getting into the terrain. Sir, you have made reflection about our Prime Minister.
I've said nothing.
No, three things you have said.
I said, I don't want to tell me what he said.
Sir, three things you have said. One, that the Honorable Prime Minister said something, there was no response. I have developed.
I'm not asking what he said.
One second.
I didn't ask for that.
One second.
No, please, Mr. Chairman.
1 second.
Please don't misinterpret me. I did not ask what he said.
Yes. Give me a minute. I have developed a practice here that honorable members, when they are engaged in debate, make reference to documents, videos. You may place that on record, on the table of the House.
I do not wish to know what
that
he
may
said.
be placed on the table of the House so that we'll examine it and go about it.
The video clip did not have a audio. It's only a video clip which is available in all channels. It's a video clip for a few seconds. I want to know. Did they discuss China? Why is there such a reluctance to say, did the Honorable Prime Minister discuss yes or no? Got an opportunity to discuss China with President
I am on a different point.
Answer is yes or no. Answer is yes or no.
One second.
What are they hiding in the country? We have a right to know. Whether our Prime Minister did raise the Chinese border issue or not, we have a right to know.
Let him speak out. He is already
asking.
Come on, settle down.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Settle down.
I don't wish to know
Settle down,
what he
settle
said.
down, settle
I
down,
don't
please.
wish to know the details of his conversation.
When they disturb our speaker, you don't tell them. You should tell them also.
You are casting aspersions on the chair.
Tell them also.
You are casting aspersions on the chair.
We are not casting any
One
aspersions.
second. One second. The honorable member repeatedly cast aspersions on the chair.
No, I'm not
This
casting
says to
aspersions,
please
sir,
take your
but-
seat.
but- no,
Take your seat. Take your seat.
One second, sir. One second.
Take your seat.
One second, sir. One second.
Take your seat.
One second, sir.
No. Take your seat. Take your seat. First take your
When
seat.
they are disturbing, they should also be asked to keep quiet, sir.
First take your seat.
It's all right.
You directly made an allegation against the
No
chair
allegation, sir. No
that
allegation.
the chair is not controlling
They are
them.
disturbing, sir.
Number
They are
one.
disturbing
Number
our
two,
speaker, sir.
Mr. Chidambaram, you have a long parliamentary career. I request you that the document to which you have made reference and the document which you have sought to describe, the video, that may be placed on the table of the House.
It is a public, in the public domain. It's in the public. Just a moment. Sir, forget the video.
No,
Forget
why
the video.
forget? You have made a reference, it is on record.
Forget the video.
No,
we
no.
know,
No,
we
no.
know
You-
that
you
the
know the
Honorable
parliamentary
Prime
practice.
Minister met President Xi in Bali. I only want to know a simple question. Did they have an opportunity to discuss China? That's all. That is no document there. There's no document there. We know that President Xi was there. We know Honorable Prime Minister was there. We know that they met in Bali. All I want to know is, did they get an opportunity? Did they get an opportunity to discuss China? Answer is yes or no, that's all. I'm not asking anything. So let me conclude. So I have raised in your absence, when the Deputy Chairman was occupying the chair, 5 questions, and I was waiting for you to come to raise this 6th question. I am, my time. No time, sir. My time. My time. Is he giving a ruling now? Is he giving a ruling now?
One second. One second. Please take your seat. 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 Everyone must be on the seat. Please take your seat. Take your seat.
Sir,
Now,
therefore,
one second.
I'm concluding.
Before you conclude. Before you conclude.
I'm concluding.
One second.
I'm concluding now.
Take your seat. Take it. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take it. Honorable members, it is very painful. Every time we send a signal from the upper house, that generates disillusionment. People are worried. Is it the way the upper house should be conducting itself? Are we going to send such kind of signals? And I am little surprised the kind of body language aggression I have to face. That is not the style of anyone else. We don't have to act in group. We don't have to be on our feet. I try to accommodate everyone with whatever one has to say. If I have used my authority to issue a direction, that is based on my long experience. I was involved with parliamentary affairs 3 decades ago. This is the wholesome practice. If an honorable member has chosen to make reference to a document, the chair is well within its rights to direct the member to place that document on the table of the House. And that for a simple reason that members are entitled to analyze it, assess it, and they take it forward. I am sure the honorable member will keep that in mind and do it during the course of the proceedings today. Please continue.
Sir, Therefore, I sincerely hope that, although this House can only recommend on a supplementary demand and an appropriation bill, since a large amount of 3,25,756 crore, which we don't grudge if it's for relevant expenditure, we are granting this amount. I would sincerely hope that the government's treasury benches and the Honorable Finance Minister will enlighten us on the questions that I've raised. Yes. Otherwise, as that famous saying is, we are in the same advanced stage of wisdom at the end of the debate as we were when we began the debate. Thank you. Very good.
And I was listening to you in my chamber, so I am fully updated with the other issues also. Shri Sushil Kumar Modi. Shri Sushil Kumar Modi.
238.5. Sir, 238.5. Reflect upon.
Sushil Kumar Modi. Sushil Kumar Modi.
Sir, this is 238.5, sir.
Mr. Narasimha Rao, no. Sushil Kumar Modi. Sushil Kumar Modi.
सभापति महोदय, मैं एप्रोप्रिएशन बिल 2022 पर बोलने के लिए खड़ा हुआ हूँ। सभापति महोदय, इस बिल में सबसे ज़्यादा अमाउंट फर्टिलाइजर सब्सिडी के लिए प्रोवाइड किया गया है एंड द अमाउंट अबाउट 1,09,000 करोड़, और इस बजट में कुल मिलाकर जो फर्टिलाइजर की सब्सिडी होगी वो लगभग 2,14,000 करोड़ रुपए की होगी। और सभापति महोदय, सदन को ये मालूम है कि अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में और रूस यूक्रेन युद्ध के कारण जो फर्टिलाइजर का इनपुट है और जो फर्टिलाइजर है उसके मूल्यों में बहुत अप्रत्याशित वृद्धि हुई है। लेकिन आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ये नहीं चाहते थे कि किसानों पर कोई बोझ पड़े, और इसीलिए किसानों पर बोझ नहीं पड़े, इसीलिए इतना बड़ा ये बजट में प्रावधान किया गया है। और मैं सदन को बताना चाहूँगा कि यूरिया का जो दाम है वो एमआरपी है 266.50, 266 रुपये 50 पैसा प्रति बोरा, और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजार में उसकी कीमत कितनी है तो 2,450 रुपया, यानी एक बोरे पर 2,183 रुपीज हम सब्सिडी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं ताकि हमारे देश के किसानों पर कोई बोझ नहीं पड़े। और जो डीएपी है, जो डीएपी फर्टिलाइजर है, उसका एमआरपी है 1,350, 1,350 रुपये, और हम कितना दे रहे हैं सब्सिडी 2,501, 2,500 रुपया प्रति बोरा हम डीएपी पर सब्सिडी दे रहे हैं। तो सभापति महोदय, इसलिए जो बजट में इतना बड़ा प्रावधान के ऐसा कारण यही है कि किसानों पर बोझ नहीं पड़े। दूसरा एक जो बहुत बड़ा अमाउंट सब्सिडी का प्रोवाइड किया गया, दैट इज फॉर प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना, एंड इन दिस बजट वी प्रोवाइडेड 60,000 करोड़ फॉर प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना। और सदन को यह मालूम है कि 80 करोड़ लोगों को 28 महीने से 5 किलो अनाज प्रति महीना मुफ्त में सरकार की ओर से दिया जा रहा है। एंड ऑलरेडी द गवर्नमेंट विल बी स्पेंडिंग 3,90,000 करोड़, 3,90,000 करोड़ only for this providing 5 kg ration free for all the poor people, 80 करोड़। और सती महोदय, IMF की एक स्टडी आई है इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड की, और स्टडी ये कहती है कि प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना के कारण कोविड के दौरान जो एक्सट्रीम पॉवर्टी थी, जो अत्यधिक गरीबी थी, एक्सट्रीम पॉवर्टी, उसको भारत 0.8% पर रिटेन करने में यानी बरकरार रखने में सफल रहा है। अगर ये गरीबों का अनाज नहीं मिलता तो जो एक्सट्रीम पॉवर्टी है ये कई गुना ज़्यादा बढ़ जाती। और स्वती महोदय, हम लोगों ने इस देश के अंदर सारे राशन कार्ड को डिजिटाइज कर दिया, सारे राशन की दुकानों पर पॉस मशीन लगा दिया। आज कोई भी गरीब आदमी किसी दुकान पर जाकर और राशन ले सकता, अंगूठा लगाएगा राशन लेगा, कोई ब्लैक नहीं है, कोई धांधली नहीं कर सकता है। और इतना ही नहीं, तो आधार बेस्ड इस व्यवस्था को करने का परिणाम ये हुआ है कि 4,70,00,000 4,70,00,000 जो फेक राशन कार्ड था वो रद्द किया जा चुका है। और सत्य महोदय, इन्हीं सारी चीजों का परिणाम हुआ है कि ग्लोबल मल्टी डायमेंशनल पॉवर्टी, यूनाइटेड नेशंस डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम और यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ऑक्सफोर्ड के एक संस्था के द्वारा एक स्टडी किया गया और इंडेक्स 22 निकाला गया, जो जाना जाता है ग्लोबल मल्टी डायमेंशनल पॉवर्टी। उस रिपोर्ट के अनुसार 2005-6 से 2020-21 तक इस देश के अंदर 41,50,00,000 लोगों को गरीबी से बाहर निकाला जा सका है। 41,50,00,000। और गरीबी की जो दर है, इंसिडेंस ऑफ पॉवर्टी, दैट इज डिक्रीज फ्रॉम 55% टू ओनली 16%। तो सती महोदय, जहां 5-6 में इस देश के अंदर 64 करोड़ लोग गरीब थे, 15-16 में घटकर 37 करोड़ हो गए, और आज जो वो घटकर 2019-21 में घटकर 22.8 करोड़ हो गए हैं। तो सती महोदय, कोविड के दौरान और इस दौरान जो सारा प्रयास किया गया उसी का ये परिणाम है। सती महोदय, डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के क्षेत्र में पूरी दुनिया को भारत ने नए नए इनोवेशंस के द्वारा और बहुत बड़े पैमाने पर कंट्रीब्यूट किया है। जहां वेस्ट का जो डिजिटल मॉडल है, पश्चिम का जो डिजिटल मॉडल है, वो बिग टेक कंपनियां हैं, अमेजॉन, गूगल, मेटा, एप्पल, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, चाइना का अलीबाबा, टेंसेंट, और पूरी दुनिया, डिजिटल दुनिया जो इसी से डोमिनेट कर रही थी। लेकिन हमारा डिजिटल मॉडल क्या, भारत का डिजिटल मॉडल क्या है? पब्लिक डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हमने खड़ा किया है। हमने जैम, जिसके अंदर आधार कार्ड, जनधन योजना, 47 करोड़ लोगों का जनधन खाता खोला गया, 120 करोड़ से ज्यादा लोगों को आधार प्रोवाइड किया गया, लोगों के पास मोबाइल फोन है, और आज उसी का परिणाम है कि डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर, दुनिया के अंदर अमेरिका में भी डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर है, लेकिन भारत में डीबीटी के माध्यम से अभी तक 26 लाख करोड़ का ट्रांसफर गरीबों के खाते में डायरेक्ट किया जा सका है। और इसका परिणाम यह हुआ कि जहां एक और 4,70,00,000 रेशन कार्ड को रद्द किया गया, वहीं 4,11,00,000 एलपीजी के जो फर्जी कनेक्शन थे उसको भी जो उसके कारण रद्द किया जा सका है। और सती महोदय, 2021 मार्च तक इस डीबीटी के कारण करीब 2,22,000 करोड़ की बचत और भारत को हुई है। और सती महोदय, आज तक माना जाता टेक्नोलॉजी के क्षेत्र में जो पश्चिम के देश हैं, जो डेवलप्ड इकोनॉमी है, वही लोग इनोवेट करते हैं, लेकिन हमने डिजी लॉकर, ये भारत की देन है। कोविन में 220 करोड़ लोगों को जो वैक्सीन के 220 करोड़ जो वैक्सीन के डोजेज लगे, ये कोविन पर पूरा का पूरा उस डोजेज को रिकॉर्ड किया गया, डिजिटल सर्टिफिकेट प्रोवाइड किया गया। आज अमेरिका और यूके में भी डिजिटल सर्टिफिकेट प्राप्त करना बहुत कठिन काम है, लेकिन कोविन की जो हम लोगों ने टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप किया, आज जैसी वैक्सीन लगा लोगों को तुरंत डिजिटल सर्टिफिकेट और प्राप्त हो गया। वैक्सीन का मैनेजमेंट इसके द्वारा हमने किया। सौती महोदय, यूपीआई ये भारत की देन है। और यूपीआई के अंतर्गत सौती महोदय, जहां 2016 में केवल 1 लाख ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ था एक साल में यूपीआई के माध्यम से, केवल 1 लाख, और कितना अमाउंट 6,592 करोड़। और मैं सदन को बताना चाहूंगा, इस यूपीआई के माध्यम से जो डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन है, एक महीने में केवल अक्टूबर 2022 में 730 करोड़ ट्रांजैक्शन एक महीने के अंदर यूपीआई के माध्यम से हुआ सती महोदय, और 12 लाख करोड़ रुपए का एक महीने में डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ। ये यूपीआई की ताकत। और आज इस यूपीआई की ताकत का परिणाम है कि सिंगापुर, मलेशिया, यूएई, फ्रांस, बेल्जियम, नीदरलैंड, ये सारे देश, और वहां पर आप यूपीआई के माध्यम से ट्रांजैक्शन कर सकते हैं। सती महोदय, डिजिटल सेंट्रल बैंक डिजिटल करेंसी, हमने ई रुपी निकाल दिया। दुनिया में 10-11 देश होंगे जिन्होंने डिजिटल करेंसी लॉन्च किया है, भारत उनमें से एक है। अब आपको रुपया पॉकेट में रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपके मोबाइल पर जो डिजिटल, जो 10-100 रुपए का जो नोट है, वो डिजिटल फॉर्म में आपके मोबाइल पर आ जाएगा। और सती महोदय, हम लोगों ने ई रूपी को भी लॉन्च कर दिया है। और इतना ही नहीं सती महोदय, तो बैंक ऑफ इंटरनेशनल सेटलमेंट, उसकी एक स्टडी है, वो ये कहती है कि डिजिटल पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में भारत ने 10 वर्षों में जितना हासिल किया है, सामान्य स्थिति में उतना हासिल करने के लिए 50 साल लग जाते, लेकिन वो 10 साल में उसको हम लोगों ने और हासिल कर लिया। तो सती महोदय, ये भारत की देन है। सती महोदय, मोबाइल फोन जब नरेंद्र मोदी जी प्रधानमंत्री बने, उसमें 92% मोबाइल फोन हम जो इस्तेमाल कर रहे थे वो इंपोर्ट हुआ करते थे, और आज 2022 में 97% मोबाइल फोन ये इंपोर्ट नहीं होते, ये मेड इन इंडिया के मोबाइल फोन है जो आज हम इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। सती महोदय, 2014-15 में मोबाइल फोन का उत्पादन था 18,900 करोड़। इट इज इंक्रीज 14 टाइम्स एंड नाउ वी आर प्रोड्यूसिंग अबाउट 2,75,000 करोड़ वॉल्यूम का मोबाइल फोन का हम उत्पादन कर रहे हैं, और केवल मोबाइल फोन का 75,000 करोड़ का मोबाइल फोन हम एक्सपोर्ट करने का काम कर रहे हैं। सती महोदय, जो एप्पल है, जिसके बारे में हम सब जानते हैं, एप्पल, ये एप्पल का, इस एप्पल कंपनी ने पीएलआई का लाभ उठाकर 20,000 करोड़ के आईफोन अप्रैल से दिसंबर के बीच में भारत से और एप्पल के आईफोन एक्सपोर्ट किए गए हैं। सती महोदय, जब पिछले साल 11,000 करोड़ का आईफोन 21-22 में और एक्सपोर्ट किया गया था, वहां इस साल ये बढ़कर 20,000 करोड़ से ज्यादा का हो गया है। और टोटल जो मोबाइल का एक्सपोर्ट है उससे करीब 50% केवल एप्पल के आईफोन से। साथ ही बैंकिंग के क्षेत्र में भी जो भारत सरकार ने काम किया है, आज भारत के जो पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स हैं, करीब 12 पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स का मुनाफा सेकेंड क्वार्टर मिलाकर इस साल 40,000 करोड़ का मुनाफा हमारे भारत के बैंकों ने अर्जित करने का काम किया है। और हमारा जो एनपीए था, नॉन परफॉर्मिंग एसेट, वो जहां मार्च 2018 में 11% था, वह घटकर 5.9% पर पहुंच गया है। सती महोदय, मुद्रा लोन, 19 करोड़ 78 लाख लोगों को मुद्रा लोन के तहत 13,64,000 करोड़ का लोन दिया गया है। और इसका एनपीए कितना है? रघुराम राजा ने मजाक करते थे और कहते थे कि आप जो मुद्रा लोन दे रहे सारा एनपीए हो जाएगा। मैं सदन को बताना चाहूंगा कि जहां बैंकों का एनपीए 5.9% है, टोटल लोन का, वहां मुद्रा लोन का एनपीए केवल 3.38% है। इसका मतलब है कि इस देश का गरीब कर्ज लेने के बाद वापस करता है, भले इस देश के गरीब वापस न करते हो। सती महोदय, पूरे साउथ एशिया के अंदर बगल के पड़ोसी श्रीलंका का क्या हाल है? इन्फ्लेशन 70%, आंदोलन, वहां के राष्ट्रपति को अपना देश छोड़कर भागना पड़ा। बगल के पाकिस्तान का क्या हाल है? वहां डिफॉल्ट में जाने का खतरा पैदा हो गया। कब वो डिफॉल्ट में चले जाएंगे पता नहीं। बांग्लादेश को, जो कुछ साल पहले तक कहा जाता था कि पर कैपिटा इनकम में बांग्लादेश भारत से ज्यादा है, उसको इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड के पास जाना पड़ रहा है 37,000 करोड़ का लोन लेने के लिए, सहायता लेने के लिए। नेपाल का विदेशी मुद्रा संकट में है। और सती महोदय, और इस समय इस निराशाजनक माहौल में अगर एक चमकता हुआ सितारा अगर कहीं दक्षिण एशिया में दिखाई पड़ता है, तो वह चमकता सितारा भारत है। भारत के अलावा और कोई दूसरा नहीं है। सती महोदय, हमने कोविड का बेहतर तरीके से मुकाबला किया है। हमारे रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने जो ब्याज दर है वो अमेरिका और यूके की तुलना में बहुत कम है। हमारा इन्फ्लेशन केवल 5.88% है, जबकि अमेरिका और यूके का इन्फ्लेशन रेट 9 और 10% पर पहुंच चुका है। सती महोदय, हमारा जो विकास दर है, ग्रोथ रेट, इस साल 6.8% रहने की संभावना है, जो वर्ल्ड के अंदर फास्टेस्ट इकोनॉमी है। सबसे ज्यादा ग्रोथ रेट भारत की रहने की संभावना है। सती महोदय, इतना ही नहीं, जिस ब्रिटेन ने हम पर 150 साल तक राज किया था, उस ब्रिटेन को पछाड़कर, पीछे छोड़कर भारत आज दुनिया की 5वीं सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बन चुका है। आजादी के 75वें वर्ष के अंदर जब हम 75वां वर्ष मना रहे हैं, तो आज भारत दुनिया की 5वीं अर्थव्यवस्था बन चुका है। और मैं सदन को यह भी बताना चाहूंगा, हम 2022 में 5th लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी है। 2027 में जर्मनी को पीछे छोड़कर हम 4th लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी बन जाएंगे और 2029 में हम जापान को भी पीछे छोड़ देंगे और 3rd लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी पूरी दुनिया के अंदर बन जाएंगे सती महोदय। और 2029 के अंदर अमेरिका और चाइना को छोड़कर यही दो होंगे जो हमसे आगे होंगे, हम 3rd लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी होंगे। और 2048 में इस बात की संभावना है कि अमेरिका को भी भारत ओवरटेक करने की क्षमता भारत के अंदर है, इस बात की पूरी संभावना है। और सती महोदय और इसलिए जो 5th लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी है और सती महोदय, मैं इस समय सदन के अंदर एक बात का जिक्र करना चाहूंगा। अगर देश आगे बढ़ेगा जब राज्य आगे बढ़ेंगे, लेकिन पिछले कुछ दिनों से देश के कई राज्यों में ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम को लागू करने की घोषणा की गई है। मैं हाथ जोड़कर आग्रह करूंगा, और यही चिदम्बरम साहब बैठे हैं, डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह थे जिन लोगों ने ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम के स्थान पर न्यू पेंशन स्कीम इस देश में जो प्रारंभ हुई थी उसको सारे राज्यों को एक फोरम पर लाने का काम किया था। और अब कई राज्य सरकारें करें कि हम ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम में जाएंगे। सती महोदय, इस समय 5,76,000 करोड़ 5,76,000 करोड़ पर ईयर हमको केवल पेंशन के रूप में स्टेट और सेंटर को और भुगतान करना पड़ रहा है। हिमाचल प्रदेश का जो उसका ओन टैक्स रेवेन्यू है उसका केवल पेंशन में कितना जाता है, 80%, यानी उसका जो अपना राजस्व उसका 80% वो केवल पेंशन पर उसका व्यय हो रहा है। बिहार का 60%, पंजाब का 34%, और अगर सैलरी और इंटरेस्ट को जोड़ दिया जाए तो राज्यों के पास कुछ भी नहीं बचेगा। इसलिए मैं राज्यों से आग्रह करूंगा कि आज का बोझ भविष्य की पीढ़ी पर डालना ये बहुत बड़ा अपराध होगा। इट इज सिंफुल, अनप्रिंसिपल्ड, अनएथिकल टू क्रिएट लायबिलिटीज टू गवर्नमेंट इन फ्यूचर। आने वाली पीढ़ी के लिए हम बोझ छोड़कर जाएं, ये कदापि उचित नहीं होगा। आज आपको कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी कि 2034 में जो सरकार आएगी सती महोदय, उसकी अर्थव्यवस्था कोलैप्स कर जाएगी और भारत के बहुत सारे ऐसे राज्य होंगे जिनकी हालत श्रीलंका जैसी हो जाएगी। इसलिए मैं सदन के माध्यम से आग्रह करूंगा कि ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम के भूत को मत जगाइए, ये एक बहुत बड़ा खतरा है और बहुत बड़े संकट में हम पूरे देश को डाल देंगे सती महोदय। साथियों, सती महोदय, जो लोग नीरव मोदी की बात करते थे कि नीरव मोदी भाग गए, कब लौट कर आएंगे, तो सदन को मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि नीरव मोदी का ब्रिटेन में जितने भी लीगल ऑप्शंस है सारे के सारे लीगल ऑप्शंस समाप्त हो चुके हैं। और हो सकता है कि अगर यूरोपियन कोर्ट ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स ने या ब्रिटेन ने उसको असाइलम नहीं दिया तो अगले 28 दिनों के भीतर नीरव मोदी और भारत लौटकर आ सकते हैं। सती महोदय, अभी तक हम अपना जो विदेश का व्यापार करते थे वो डॉलर में करते थे, लेकिन ये पहली बार आजादी के बाद अब दुनिया के अंदर रशिया, मॉरिशस, श्रीलंका, इन देशों के साथ जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यापार है ये डॉलर के बजाय रुपी के अंदर ट्रेड होना प्रारंभ हो गया है। और स्पेशल वॉस्ट्रो रुपी अकाउंट इन 3 देशों के बैंक में बाइलेटरल ट्रेड थ्रू और वॉस्ट्रो अकाउंट के द्वारा प्रारंभ किया गया है। और अंत में सती महोदय, आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का सपना है और प्रधानमंत्री जी चाहते हैं कि 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी डॉलर की अर्थव्यवस्था हम देश को पहुंचाना चाहते हैं। और 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी का मतलब क्या होता है, 413 लाख करोड़। अभी हमारा जीडीपी 258 लाख करोड़ है एंड वी वांट दैट इंडिया शुड अचीव 5 ट्रिलियन डॉलर इकोनॉमी। 5 ट्रिलियन डॉलर इकोनॉमी का मतलब 413 लाख करोड़। और 2026-27 तक भारत हर हालत में 5 ट्रिलियन डॉलर इकोनॉमी तक पहुंच जाएगा। और साथ ही साथ आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने ऐलान किया है कि जब भारत आज़ादी का 100वां वर्ष मनाएगा 2047 में, तब तक हम भारत को एक विकसित देश में परिवर्तित करने में हम सफल होंगे। तो 2047 तक आज जो एक विकासशील भारत है, 2047 तक वो विकसित भारत के अंदर और परिवर्तित हो जाएगा। इसलिए सती महोदय, आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में अर्थव्यवस्था के क्षेत्र में जो काम हो रहा है और जहां यूपीए के सरकार में एक से एक बड़े विद्वान थे, अर्थशास्त्री थे, उनके जमाने में इन्फ्लेशन का क्या हाल था, उनके जमाने में करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट का क्या हाल था, उनके जमाने में ग्रोथ का क्या हाल था, और आज निर्मला सीतारमण जी यहाँ बैठी और आज देश में प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व में हमने दुनिया की सबसे तेज अर्थव्यवस्था में भारत को बदलने का काम किया है। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं इस बजट का समर्थन करता हूं।
श्री डेरेक ओब्रायन।
Sir, the member of the opposition who opened the debate spoke for 20 minutes. He was interrupted 6 times. The member of the Treasury benches spoke for 18 minutes. Nobody from the opposition interrupted him. That was his time. He had to have his say, and there will be enough opportunities for them to reply. I would, through you, sir, express this sentiment, that I hope I am extended the same graciousness as we extended to the member of the Treasury bench and all the speakers thereafter. This is what I mean. This is precisely what I mean, sir.
Take the seat.
Thank you. Sir, we keep referring to this house, and it's okay because it's colloquial, as the upper house. Personally, I use a different phrase. The Trinamool uses a different phrase, and most people prefer this phrase. We'll call it the Council of States. Sir, it's the appropriation bill that demands for grants, but we are not the St. Stephen's College Debating Society. This is a political house. So when we are looking at the appropriation bill, when we are looking at the demand for grants, of course we will have a political debate. But today, I don't think anybody from the BJP is going to interrupt me. Because in the last 6 or 7 weeks, while late nights were spent watching World Cup football, afternoons were spent by me reading a 43-page document, a 43-page book, which they're all familiar with. As they speak of 2029, I want to speak of 2024, but before that of 2019. What is this document? Unfortunately, the rules of the House do not permit me to bring the document in here, but sir, it is here in case you need it for ready reference. I've taken some quotes from the document. And that document is the manifesto of the Bharatiya Janata Party 2019. That's only where I will be, nowhere beyond that. And the bill and the demand for grants. 12 or 13 quick references, no rhetoric, only on the facts. So the first one, quote, we will continue to pursue federal governance by ensuring greater involvement of the states in all aspects of policy making, unquote. Page 25, manifesto promise number 10 of the BJP, federal governance. So 2 numbers for the finance minister, and I'm sure she will respond to all this tomorrow. The first one, when the BJP came to power in 2014, states were spending 46% more than the union government. In 2021-2022, my charge is states are not spending 46% more than the union government. They're spending 150% more than the union government. 2, 29 of the 98 bills passed before 2021 were anti-federal in nature. If you look at the bills, 29 of them went against federalism. Sir, I'm still on the point of federalism as mentioned in that manifesto. I'll make 4 quick points. My charge is that there is an economic blockade of the states. 1, sir, you said something very interesting. If you say something, you should back it up with documents. Yes. So as per Rule 266, under directions of the chairman earlier, number 37 and 39, I have placed this on the table with the necessary permissions. What are these 4 documents I'm placing today? 7 years ago, states have been burdened because the center cancelled schemes about 7 years ago. That document is here. One of those schemes was the backward region grant funds, And that simply means it was so important for the states had to continue the scheme, but the funding stopped. My second point, sir. They reduced the share of the center on many schemes. Simply put, if the scheme was, say, 65% from the center, 35% from the states were taken up to 50%, the center was brought down to 50%. There are all these examples in this document. One is the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. That's an example. The third one, sir, was the central sector scheme. Best example, Manrega. It's another point that the current Prime Minister didn't like Manrega in 2014. We are happy that he has a different point of view. We welcome that. And the fourth point on the economic blockade, and to this, with your permission, I'd like to thank a colleague who is now in Calcutta, Dr. Amit Mitra, who is very well known. So this is on the FRBM, the fiscal responsibility and budget management. And the finance minister is here, and I'm sure she will address this tomorrow. Sir, you gave the states, you took it up from 3.5%. This is borrowing as related to GDP. You took it up from 3.5, you took it up to 4%. Now this year you brought the state borrowing down to 3.5%. My limited point, when you took it up to 4%, 2 points. When you took it up to 4%, you laid some conditions on the states. For example, you said the state has to privatize electricity. No, that's anti-federal. You make some other points about urban bodies. So the point here is, sir, please bring it back, take it to 4%, and it has to be unconditional. That's a request from the House of the States. So I'm going back to this book, the 43-page book. I read now from page 25. So far we are going well because it's all in the, so no interruptions. Good.
No interruptions.
No, so good, good, good.
Both sides.
Good. Sir, I quote, "We have set an example of inclusive federal governance through steps such as establishment of the GST Council, etc., etc." So there are many points to make on the GST Council. I would like to make just one, page 25. My point is, sir, cess, as it's in undergraduate economics, cess goes directly to the center. No sharing with the states. Right. This is an interesting figure, sir. In 2011, of the total percentage of gross tax revenue, 2011, 10% was cess. Guess the number now, sir. Cess being going only to the center. 26.7% is cess. How are the states being deprived? From 10, it's up to 26.7. So a quick point for the manifesto again. Which manifesto? BJP manifesto 2019. Quote, "We will also ensure implementation of the 14th Finance Commission's recommendations." 14th Finance Commission, purpose was good, but did it get served? This is page 25 of the Good Governance Manifesto. Divisible pool of taxes devised by the 14th Finance Commission and the 15th Finance Commission was 42% and 41%, give or take a percentage here and there. The state's share in central taxes is estimated to be just 30% of the gross tax revenue of the central government. This is worth pondering over, sir, and asking for an answer. Let me move on. All on the appropriation bill, all on the numbers, all related to promises made in a manifesto in 1919, and all these diversions before 2024. Now the new goalpost I heard is 2029. Even Mbappe would have retired by then, but it doesn't matter. Sir, please listen, because this is, and tomorrow I hope all these arguments are demolished. All these numbers are thrown out. Quote, oh, I forgot the page. Page 10, Introduction to the BJP Manifesto. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, every effort has been made, ... in the management of national assets. Key word being management of national assets, unquote. In the last 5 years, sir, rupees 10 lakh crore, 10 lakh crore has been written off by this government as bad debts by banks. You know, I was trying to find a way. I was very bad in maths in school, so I was trying to find a way. What is 10 lakh crores? What is 10 lakh crores? So I think I found a way to express what is 10 lakh crores. Take the entire budget of Chhattisgarh, of Telangana, of Rajasthan, of my beloved state of Bengal.
Our beloved state.
You love more, sir. You love more.
Sir, now that we've publicly expressed our mutual love for each other, so I will continue with this. Right. So West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Telangana and Rajasthan, the combined budget for these states is what? Way less than 10 lakh crores. Now of this, only 13% has been recovered of the 10 lakh crores, 1.3 lakh crores. Let's come back to this, sir. I'm feeling shy to show it to you, but if you give me the permission, at least we can have a peep. Yes, sir. This one. Okay. But this one, sir, I should lay on the table because this has got the list of the schemes, and I laid it on the table because I've also given it in writing. So it's not literally laid on the table. Right. No. Sir, page 20, infrastructure, headline. Large number of jobs and livelihood opportunities. The unemployment rate, sir, in the last 3 months has been 8%. Reverse argument, when we made these promises, we didn't know COVID was coming. Okay. Manrega, 15 crore citizens with jobs. The center, the union owes the states money. This is one of those schemes. I'm not quibbling about how much is owed, how much is not owed. Let those numbers come tomorrow and the finance minister can share those numbers. And from there, sir, let's move on to youth. Mentioned in that manifesto, and I quote, India is a youthful country. A country with such a major percentage of youth, it has the capability to change not only its own, but the fate of the entire world, unquote. Sounds fantastic, sir. What's the reality? This is from page 28. There's a photograph and a quote of the Honorable Prime Minister. And today's numbers are what on the youth? Urban unemployment in the age group of 20 to 24. I want young people of India listening to these debates in Parliament to say, when you say the opposition is diverting, no, the opposition wants to talk to the young people of India. The opposition wants to talk to the women of India. The opposition wants to talk to the old people of India, the unemployed. But the opposition is trying and trying and trying, and the owners of the television channels also need to amplify the voice of the opposition, not the journalists. Unemployment number in the age group of 20 to 24 is 42%. Sir, they don't want slogans, they want jobs. Please, sir, I seek your protection. I seek your protection. Sir, I'm not yielding, I seek your protection. Sir, I seek your protection. Sir, this is what I said, sir. First person spoke for 20 minutes, 6 interactions. I've at least got to 30 minutes.
Honorable member,
Listen, no. Listening is an art.
if any statement is made and the statement is found to be incorrect on fact,
Right.
you need to be aware of it, carries serious consequences.
Right, sir. Thank you.
You can
Now
take,
I will reveal.
You can take recourse to rules.
Sir, now I will reveal the source of my data. I must. The source of my data. I had another job 20 years ago before I came Parliament, so I not only have one source, there have to be 3 sources in the good old quiz days. So the source of my data is the October 15th report. Read it in your spare time. The October 15th report 2022 of CMIE. That's the source. Now let me come back to the manifesto. I'm really a bit disheartened today. I'm talking about the BJP manifesto and the BJP member wants to disturb me. What else, can I do? Sir, my next one. We are committed. Page 31. Page 31. Women-led development promise #3. We are committed to make women equal partners and equal beneficiaries of the progress and prosperity of the nation. Unquote. According to the CMI, that's Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, 2 crore women quit the workforce between 2017 to 2022. Answer these questions. Answer these questions in Parliament. Don't tell me what I can eat on Good Governance Day. It doesn't matter what I eat. Don't tell me where to pray, who to pray. Answer these questions. Now, sir, since the member had a point of order, please do give him a chance later. May I earnestly request you, sir, to see CMI data. Now you talk about women. 2 crore women quit the workforce. Female labor force participation in India, these are not new numbers. It's 33%. And let's not even talk about the women's reservation bill. It was mentioned in your, now you say I'm going away from the appropriation bill. Yes, I'm going away. BJP is committed to 33% reservation in Parliament and state assemblies through a constitutional amendment. You don't need the women's reservation bill. You don't need it. If you have a chief minister like Mamata Banerjee sitting there, 36% of our women are MPs here. Not giving 36% tickets, no. You can give women 36% tickets and they will all may lose. I'm talking about 36% women in Parliament, not only Parliament, down to the panchayat level, to the bodies, there are 50% women reservation. Sir, it's a very touchy point because I will tell you, even till the time Mbappe has children, they will still not bring the women's reservation bill or be a part of it. So leave that aside, sir. Now let's come to the last few points. Number 8, we will ensure that India remains the world's fastest growing economy. We will ensure that. Page 9, you spoke about 5 trillion. You spoke about 5 trillion economy. Page 9 of your manifesto. World Bank is telling you GDP is 6.9%. If you are to grow like this, when will you reach the target with your current inflation numbers? You can compare it to America and feel very good about it. No problem. Now come to the next one, sir. The idea, quote, a manifesto, page 4. The idea of fulfilling the basic necessities of every ordinary citizen is intrinsic to our party's ideology. You said this. I want to share these numbers with you. Wholesale milk prices up 10%, maize up 27%, wheat up 31%. We are committed, quote, we are committed to ensure that the unique linguistic, cultural and social identity of the Northeast states is adequately protected. And we will continue to focus on the development and infrastructure and connectivity of the Northeast. What have you done in the Northeast? You haven't even started. Why don't you start by bringing Garo and Khasi into the 8th schedule of the Constitution? Why don't you start with, yesterday announcement was made, 7,000 crores going to the Northeast. What's the reality, sir? Only 8 of the 36 projects in the Northeast, only 8 had been sanctioned till 2021. What is happening? Empty words. Sir, last 3 points. Quote, in order to curb corruption, the Modi government has taken many effective steps. Who said this? BJP manifesto, page 24. What is happening now? 400% increase in ED cases against politicians, 95% of which are against opposition leaders. Buy a washing machine, you're done. Sir, I have a colleague of mine who's a firebrand trade union leader, Dola Sen, and she needs to speak on this also, so I've kept a little time for her, 4 or 5 minutes. So this is the situation, sir. On this, over 95% of the 200 politicians that the CBI had booked, arrested, raided or questioned were from the opposition. Sir, not everybody from the opposition with this dhamki and humki will jump over. Some of us are here. We are ready to fight the good fight. We are ready to fight the good fight. What is this fight? Nothing. I know of a woman who went on a 26-day hunger strike to fight for the farmers of the country. What are these couple of the EDs and some CBI? And we have all respect for these institutions. Sir, we have to revive these institutions. I'm glad we are debating in Parliament today. I'm really happy. 14 days were wasted in the last session. I'm glad you're here, sir. Why? We don't want to discuss price rise. We don't want to discuss. China is sensitive. What? This is meant for sensitive. Otherwise, I can discuss. Let's have a 3-hour discussion on what Messi should do with his children when they grow up. That's not sensitive. So my last point. We have focused, quote, manifesto. We have focused on the development of economic and social infrastructure, BJP manifesto, in the tribal areas affected by left-wing extremism, and we will continue to make efforts in this direction. This is what you've said in your manifesto. Don't you remember, sir? The NIA charged an 84-year-old man, and recent forensic analysis shows that the evidence was planted on a priest. Doesn't matter the priest was a Hindu priest, or a Christian priest, or a Muslim priest. It doesn't matter, or a Sikh priest. It was an 84-year-old man who wasn't given a straw, sir. There are people like us. There are people like big stars outside this house, like Mr. Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan, who speak about personal liberty. Enough. Yes, sir. Last 30 seconds.
4 minutes for Dola Sen.
Yes, sir. Sir, only members of parliament, only celebrated actors, all very good. But the real voice for personal liberty, the real voice to ask these difficult questions to the BJP is not from any of us, sir. It's from the young people of India. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, I recollect an incident that happened 3 decades ago when I was a member of the assembly. Interruption is a great nectar. When you interrupt someone, the speech keeps on going on. We had a very senior politician who became chief minister. So once I decided, with the consensus of all the opposition members, we shall not interrupt him today. He was worried, he was concerned. And he said, who has conspired not to interrupt me? So you tried your best to get some interruption. It didn't come forth. Dr. Kanimoji NVN Somu.
Thank you, Chairman, sir, for giving me an opportunity to speak on the discussion on the appropriation bills. The government seeks to note for the payment and appropriation of amounts from the consolidated funds of India for the current fiscal. Sir, first I would like to make a mention on the farmers. The union government has promised the farmers of this nation that they will double the income of the farmers in the country. 8 years has gone, farmers' income has not doubled. Sadly, farmers' suicide has doubled. A complete analysis on farming techniques and total expenditure incurred directly and indirectly by the farmers for their agricultural production should be calculated accurately, and based on this data, MSP for all agricultural produce for farmers. Farmer families owing cultivatable land owning are eligible for receiving income support under the PM Kishan scheme. The beneficiaries are identified based on their land records. The scheme does not cover the landless agricultural laborers who form 55% of the agricultural workers in the country. The tenant farmers, who are a significant part of the landless farmers in many states, do not receive the income support benefits. The government should provide all necessary support and encourage states to create a digitalized mapping of farmlands, incorporating every finer detail on the land utility cent by cent in a time-bound manner. Credit eligibility certificates, which would act as tenancy or lease certificates, should be issued to tenant farmers. These certificates would enable the landless tenant cultivators to obtain agricultural credit. Sir, as we are talking about the farmers, I would also like to mention the following. The linking of the rivers, particularly linking the peninsular rivers, is the need of the hour. But as it remains unfulfilled for several years, I urge upon the government to take concrete steps to execute the linking of the peninsular rivers a reality. Tamil Nadu, being a low riparian state, is struggling to get its rightful share of Kaveri water from Karnataka. It's unfortunate that the Karnataka state government gives scant respect to the legally constituted Kaveri Water Management Authority to violate the award of the Supreme Authority. Sir, I urge the Union government to intervene immediately and warn the Karnataka government for their unconstitutional illegal efforts to construct a dam at the Megadadu in River Kaveri. It is a constitutional duty of the Union government to intervene and solve the issue between the two neighboring states. Sir, then on the road and the infrastructure, enhancing the road networks and connectivity is very important to have a flourishing economy. The Honorable Finance Minister has announced the PM Gati Shakti Master Plan for Infrastructure Development and a Master Plan for Expressways to boost economic growth for the next financial year. Sir, our Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Thalapathy M.K. Stalin, has requested the Union government for declaring 8 state roads. In principle, approval has been granted by the Road Transport and Highways Ministry. I urge the Union government for the early approval of the same. Sir, on the tolls and the road accidents, there is an increase of more toll gates, will increase transportation costs, which will again affect the common man, causing hardship and local residents. NHAI has already hiked all toll gate fee by 4% to 21%, which lead to the rise of prices of essential commodities. Besides essential commodities, toll fees also affect transportation of raw materials and finished goods across the states. So India tops the world with 11% of global deaths in road accidents, with about 4.5 lakh road crashes per annum, in which 1.5 lakh people die, which account for 11% of the road crash deaths, witnessing 53 road crashes every hour, killing one person every 4 minutes. The government should focus on this area of road safety and road maintenance. Sir, the Tamil Nadu government has initiated a wonderful scheme to save the life of accident victims. Anyone who met with a road accident anywhere in Tamil Nadu would be admitted and given treatment immediately in the nearest hospital without any fear of who will pay the bill. The government of Tamil Nadu is allocating maximum of 1 lakh rupees to provide treatment for the first 2 days of accident victims. The accident victims are admitted in hospitals well within the golden hour. Through this initiative, thousands of accident victims were saved in Tamil Nadu. This scheme can be emulated throughout the country to reduce the fatalities of the Indian roads. Sir, about the tourism, Tamil Nadu is the most sought tourist destinations in India due to the rich cultural heritage, inherited wealth of Tamil Nadu. Unfortunately, in India, though the potential for improving tourism industry, the efforts from the Union government is very much wanting. We lag way behind in this regard. Tourism should be given an unprecedented importance by the government of India to showcase the geographical diversity, the rich cultural heritage, and the historical legacy of India to the world.
Yes, I agree.
Tamil Nadu is a paradise of gigantic ancient cultural structures, temples for the consciousness of ancient art, architecture and heritage. Just imagine and calculate the cost incurred for the construction of the architectural marvels, the big temple Tanjavur, the Gangaikonda Cholapuram, the sprawling multi-tower temples at the Tiruvannamalai, Kanchipuram, Srirangam, Madurai and Rameshwaram, or the gigantic Vellore fort or the aesthetic Sanji fort. Just think of the love of labor which has occurred on those temples. How precious those everlasting temples and historic monuments. It may not be possible to construct one such temple in this modern era. We have hundreds of them spread all over entire Tamil Nadu and beyond. Owing to the diverse culture and heritage of each state, I recommend that the future tourism policy be state-specific, sir. Apart from Chennai, several important tourist destinations in Tamil Nadu are a matter of great pride and been on the priority list of foreign tourists. Therefore, Tamil Nadu should be given more direct international flights, especially to and fro from European countries, and better connectivity to other cities in Tamil Nadu. Sir, the textile and the MSME, the textile sector and garment sector is undergoing a severe crisis as a result of multiple factors, including the economic impact of the COVID-19, the Russia-Ukraine war, and the anticipated economic slowdown in the West. The month-on-month growth rate in ready-made garment exports is now showing a sharp decline. The exporting units and the supplier MSMEs are staring at a severe financial crisis in the ensuing months due to the low demand. Lacks of jobs, particularly for the rural women, who form a significant chunk of the workforce, are in danger. Our Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, M.K. Stalin, had written a letter to the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, requesting to announce a special emergency credit line guarantee scheme for the MSME sectors. Also suggested 20% additional collateral-free credit be provided under the new scheme. Considering the above circumstances, the MSMEs must be given a special credit facilities to survive the crisis. I urge the government to announce a special emergency credit line guarantee scheme for the MSMEs in the textile sector and the garment sector immediately. Sir, Make in India, Make for the World, this mantra of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi gave in his 2020 Independence Day speech. For this vision to be successful, over 6.3 crore of micro, small and medium enterprises must be taken on board. Encouraging an innovation-led ecosystem that incentivizes technological interventions over the medium term could make small business make more for India and the world. The rapid increase in input costs the impacted MSME production amid volatile supply issues. While reducing import duties on raw materials like steel could provide immediate support, indexing the raw material prices in long-term government procurement contracts could provide the necessary cushion against inflation and unnecessary and uncertainty in the supply chains. To ease credit and liquidity concerns, the emergency credit line guarantee scheme should be expanded further to ensure outreach among the smaller enterprises within the MSMEs. Sir, I would like to draw the immediate attention of this August House regarding the serious disruptions faced by the textile industry in Tamil Nadu due to the escalating price of the cotton and the yarn. The Union government took a note of the situation and our request had notified the withdrawal of the import duty levied on cotton. Despite this, the situation is not improved and the prices of cotton and yarn continue to rise. This precarious situation has widespread ramifications for the textiles industries in Tamil Nadu. The situation also has an adverse impact on handloom weavers in the cooperative sector, as they are not able to procure yarn and supply the same to the members for the weaving of the cloth. The growing discontent in the industry and among the weavers is alarming. The Union government should initiate appropriate steps to rein in the cotton prices rise and consequent disruptions in the textile value chain to save textile units in the Tamil Nadu. Sir, the Union government's approach towards the implementation of projects is lackadaisical and wanting. People of Tamil Nadu have apprehension that Tamil Nadu is getting stepmotherly treatment when it comes to the railway project or the national highway project or any other project announced by the Union government. Sir, the setting up of the AIMS at Madurai was announced in the budget of 2015. Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi had laid the foundation stone just before the last Lok Sabha elections. Literally, there is no physical progress in the construction of the AIMS in Madurai. Now, the revised estimates have been sent to the Department of Expenditure for approval. When the PM laid the foundation stone in 2019, the project cost was estimated to be rupees 1,264 crore, which had reportedly climbed to rupees 2,000 crore by December 2020. In March 21, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, the JICA, extended assistance to the tune of rupees 1,624 crore. The Union Health Ministry noted in the Lok Sabha in February 2022 that the pre-investment work has been substantially completed and the loan agreement signed between the governments of India and Japan. The process to engage a project management consultant is underway. We have no other choice to urge the union government to expedite the construction of AIIMS at Madurai so as to enable the Honorable Prime Minister to inaugurate AIIMS just before the Lok Sabha elections of 2024. Allotment of funds to the states. Sir, the 15th Finance Commission guidelines with regards to the delegation of funds to the states and the union territories consider that the delegation will be as per the 2011 census. Tamil Nadu is the only state which sincerely and successfully implemented the family planning program proposed by the union government. The South India states, particularly Tamil Nadu, has controlled its population growth just to 6%. But the North Indian states' family planning program was not implemented with sincerity and due respect. As a result, there is an increase in the population of states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. As the population of the state is taken as the major criteria for delegation of funds, Tamil Nadu is badly affected. The union government should come forward to allocate more funds to Tamil Nadu as the state is contributing much to the union's share of money by the way of tax and other collection. In the same way, sir, I would like to mention here the number of Lok Sabha constituencies in 2020-26 would be fixed as per the delimitation committee proposals. This would very seriously affect the prospects of the South Indian states, especially Tamil Nadu. It is absolutely ridiculous and very unfair for the states which implemented successfully the family planning programs were penalized and states which were reckless are being incentivized.
Shame.
Sir, own house owning these days, in this age, to have a own house on their own for the people have to toil for their whole lifetime. Now, even now, 60% of people living in the metro cities and two-tier cities do not have own houses. Better home loan benefits can alone boost the post-pandemic economy. With the real estate sector in India expected to reach 1 trillion in the market size in the next 5 or 6 years, the union government should provide incentives to citizens to make investments in real estates. People of all states would like to have a house of their own, especially the people in the unorganized sector like the taxi and the auto drivers, daily wage workers, require generous support to pay to own a house. PMAY and the other such schemes to provide houses require allocation of more funds and equitable distribution. Sir, due to the price rise, inflation, poverty, unemployment and crime against the women are on the rise since 2014 due to the inappropriate economic policies and the financial mismanagement. Economy has gone tailspin. Recession has taken place in our country. The trade deficit is on the rise and the Indian rupee is plummeting against the US dollar. Unfortunately, all the ministers of the union government are always busy in the election campaign. Sir, before I conclude, I would like to reiterate that the budget is not merely an account of the government's budgeted expense and receipts. It also sets the stage for the country's growth and reform trajectory. I hope the government will fulfill the aspirations of poor, downtrodden and middle-class people. Thank you, sir.
Shri Raghav Chadha.
Sir, on behalf of my party, the Aam Aadmi Party, I rise to speak on the supplementary demand for grants for the financial year 2022-2023. सर, सरल भाषा में कहूं तो वित्तीय वर्ष की शुरुआत में सरकार को जितना खर्च आवंटित किया गया था, वो सारा पैसा खर्च करने के बाद आज अतिरिक्त पैसा मांगने सरकार इस सदन के भीतर आई है। काश ये सुविधा देश के आम आदमी के पास भी होती सर, जो महीने की 25 तारीख को अपना बटुआ खाली देखकर 5 दिन संघर्ष करके 1 तारीख आने की इंतजार करता है। सर, सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स 2 चीजें में से एक अवश्य दर्शाता है। पहली चीज, क्योंकि सरकार को अतिरिक्त पैसे की जरूरत पड़ी, तो पहली चीज यह है कि जब वित्तीय वर्ष की शुरुआत में सरकार को पैसा चाहिए था, तो सरकार ने अपना जो वित्तीय बजट था उसे अंडर एस्टिमेट कर प्रेजेंट किया, ताकि वित्तीय घाटे को सुंदर करके उसका सौंदर्यकरण करके दिखाया जाए। अगर यह नहीं है तो दूसरी स्थिति अवश्य होगी कि सरकार ने अपना बजट पूरी तरीके से मिसमैनेज कर दिया। इन दोनों में से यदि कोई एक स्थिति उत्पन्न होगी, उसी में सरकार को एडिशनल पैसे की, अतिरिक्त खर्चे की जरूरत पड़ रही है। सर, अतिरिक्त पैसे के लिए सरकार इस सदन के सामने आई है, कोई बात नहीं सर, उस पर चर्चा होगी, लेकिन चर्चा दो और विषयों पे होनी चाहिए। पहला विषय कि वित्तीय वर्ष की शुरुआत में 40 लाख करोड़ का जो इतना भारी भरकम बजट इस सदन ने सरकार को सैंक्शन किया था, मंजूरी दी थी, उस 40 लाख करोड़ को खर्च करके सरकार ने क्या पाया? क्योंकि भारत देश के आर्थिक इंडिकेटर्स संकट का अलार्म बजा रहे हैं। और दूसरा, आज से 2-3 महीने बाद यहां से 100 मीटर दूर नॉर्थ ब्लॉक में जहां आने वाले वित्तीय वर्ष का बजट बन रहा है, आज ये बहस मैं चाहूंगा आने वाले वित्तीय वर्ष के बजट की भी नींव रखे। और सर, मैं नया सदस्य सदन का एक सुझाव और देना चाहता हूं। हम सारे लोग बजट पे चर्चा उसी समय करते हैं जब बजट प्रस्तुत किया जाता है। हमें सदन में 2 बार बजट पे चर्चा करनी चाहिए, एक बार जब बजट प्रस्तुत हो और विंटर सेशन में 7-8 महीने बीतने के बाद कि उस बजट से देश को हासिल क्या हुआ, मिला क्या, कितनी नौकरियां मिली, क्या बेरोजगारी की दर है, कितनी महंगाई कम हुई। सर, आज सरकार 3,25,757 करोड़ मांगने इस सदन के भीतर आई है। मैं माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी का ध्यान ये पैसे सैंक्शन करने से पहले और सदन का ध्यान इस पैसे को अनुमति देने से पहले 8 बड़ी बीमारियां जिससे आज भारत देश की अर्थव्यवस्था पीड़ित है, बीमार है, उसकी तरफ करना चाहता हूं। पहली बीमारी है सर बेरोजगारी। इस सरकार ने चुनावों से पहले वादा किया था, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने वादा किया था कि हम 2 करोड़ नौकरियां हर वर्ष देंगे। सर, नौकरियां तो नहीं आई, लेकिन इस वित्तीय वर्ष में बीजेपी की सरकार ने बेरोजगारी दर को 45 सालों में सर्वाधिक कर दिया। सर, 45 ईयर हाई पे अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कर दिया। सर, 2014 में जब बीजेपी की सरकार बनी थी, 2014 में जब इनकी सरकार बनी थी, तब देश का बेरोजगारी दर 4.9% था। जब इनकी सरकार बनी थी तो बेरोजगारी दर 4.9% था। आज 8 साल बाद 2022 में यह बेरोजगारी दर 4.9% से बढ़कर 8% पे आ गया है। 8%। और ये तो ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर की बेरोजगारी है। अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर के जॉब लॉसेस, एमएसएमई के कारखाने कितने बंद हो गए, उनका घर बिक गया, कारखाने बंद हो गए, उसका तो हिसाब ही सरकार के पास नहीं है। अभी कुछ ही समय पहले लोकसभा में जवाब देते हुए वित्त मंत्री जी ने देश को बताया कि कुल 22 करोड़ आवेदन पत्र भारत सरकार के पास नौकरी मांगने के लिए आए। उन 22 करोड़ आवेदन पत्रों में से आपको जान के चंबा होगा, सरकार ने मात्र 7 लाख लोगों को नौकरी दी। सर, 22 करोड़ आवेदन पत्र के मुकाबले 7 लाख लोगों को नौकरी। सर, हम लोग छाती चौड़ी कर कर कहते हैं कि हम युवा देश हैं, हम युवाओं का देश हैं, हमें अपने डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड पे गर्व है, फक्र है। सर, भारत का डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड बेरोजगारी के तले दबता जा रहा है, सड़कों पे लाठियां खा रहा है, और भारत सरकार डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड को डेमोग्राफिक डिजास्टर में तब्दील करती जा रही है। सर, ये सच्चाई है आज। सर, मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि यह सरकार जिसने देश को, युवाओं को घर पे बिठाने का काम किया, इसका नारा बदल के हो गया है हर घर बेरोजगार। यही है आज की भाजपा सरकार। सर, मैं दूसरी बड़ी बीमारी जो इस भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लगी है उसकी तरफ आपका ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूंगा। दूसरी बड़ी बीमारी है सर इन्फ्लेशन, यानी कि महंगाई। इन्फ्लेशन को कहा जाता है सर, इन्फ्लेशन इज टैक्सेशन विदाउट लेजिस्लेशन। वो महंगाई जो सरकार कानून लाए बिना जनता पे थोप देती है। सर, आज भारत की महंगाई इस वित्तीय वर्ष में 30 सालों में सर्वाधिक थी। सर, 30 ईयर हाई पे, जहां भारत की थोक महंगाई 12 से 15% के आसपास घूम रही है और खुदरा महंगाई 6 से 8% के आसपास घूम रही है। वादा किया था सर आय बढ़ाने का, आय तो बढ़ी नहीं, महंगाई बढ़ गई। और सर, बढ़ती महंगाई और घटती कमाई के चलते आज देश को आधार कार्ड की नहीं, उधार कार्ड की जरूरत पड़ रही है। देश के आम आदमी को उधार कार्ड की जरूरत है। और सर, आज इस बहस को सुन रहे भारत देश के करोड़ों लोगों को मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि यह सरकार आप सबको गरीब कर रही है। गरीब सिर्फ वो नहीं सर जो सड़क पे कटोरा लेकर भीख मांग रहा है, हम सब गरीब हो रहे हैं। गरीब इसलिए हो रहे हैं कि हमारी आमदनी नहीं बढ़ रही, लेकिन महंगाई बढ़ती जा रही है। सर मैं उदाहरण देता हूं, एक शख्स जो 20,000 रुपए महीने के कमाता था और 18,000 रुपए खर्च करता था, वो महीने का 2,000 रुपए बचाता था। आज उसकी आमदनी 20 की 20 है, 20,000 है, लेकिन खर्चा 18,000 से बढ़कर 25,000 करोड़ हो गया। यानी कि 20,000 की आमदनी, 25,000 का खर्च, 5,000 रुपए की नुकसान का खामियाजा का कर्जा देश का एक एक आदमी भुगत रहा है। सर मैं बताना चाहूंगा, सुनिए मेरी बात ध्यान से। जब 2014 में महंगाई का आलम देखिए सर, 2014 में जब यह सरकार बनी थी तो पेट्रोल 55 रुपए प्रति लीटर पे बिकता था। आज पेट्रोल 100 रुपए प्रति लीटर पे बिकता है। डीजल 45 लीटर पे बिकता था, 45 रुपए प्रति लीटर, वो डीजल आज 90 रुपए प्रति लीटर पे बिक रहा है सर। एक गैस का सिलेंडर 400 रुपए का मिलता था बाजार में 2014 में जब इनकी सरकार आई थी, आज वो गैस का सिलेंडर 1100 रुपए का हो गया सर, 1100 रुपए का। दूध 1 लीटर 36 रुपए का मिलता था, दूध आज 60 रुपए प्रति लीटर हो गया है। और सर सीएनजी 40 रुपए प्रति यूनिट प्रति केजी मिला करती थी, आज वो सीएनजी 80 रुपए प्रति यूनिट मिलती है सर। इस सदन में सर जब प्याज
सर आपका प्रोटेक्शन चाहिए,
आपका प्रोटेक्शन चाहिए सर, ये बात सही है सर। कमेंट से देखिए सर आप। चलो बोलो सर, बोलो, चलो बोलो बोलो बोलो
सर 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 जब देश में, आई एम नॉट यील्डिंग, बट सर इस देश में जब प्याज के दाम 100 रुपए प्रति केजी के ऊपर हो गए और इस सदन में हंगामा हुआ, तो माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी ने कहा कि मैं प्याज नहीं खाती, तो मुझे उनके भाव से, प्याज की कीमतों से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है। ये मेरा विश्वास है सर कि माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी आटा, चावल, दाल, दूध, दही, पनीर तो अवश्य खाती होंगी, क्योंकि इन सब के भाव बढ़ गए। जीएसटी लगा लगा के इन्होंने देश की थालीनॉमिक्स, फूड इन्फ्लेशन को बिगाड़ दिया। आटा, दाल, चावल, दूध, दही, सबके रेट आज स्काई रॉकेटिंग है सर, आसमान छू रहे हैं। और भारत की फूड इन्फ्लेशन 10% से लेकर 17% के बीच पूरे वित्तीय वर्ष में मंडरा रही है। ये हालात हैं सर भारत की थालीनॉमिक्स की। मैं बताना चाहूंगा सर कि इस सरकार ने अमीरों को अमीर और गरीबों को गरीब करने का काम किया। पर कैपिटा इनकम किसी भी देश की आर्थिक स्वास्थ्य का एक बहुत बड़ा इंडिकेटर होता है। भारत की पर कैपिटा इनकम वित्तीय वर्ष 2021 में सर 9,160 रुपए से गिर गई, यानी कि हर व्यक्ति की औसतन कमाई 9,160 रुपए गिराने का काम किया। यानी कि आमदनी 98, खर्चा रुपया, यह सरकार ने करके हम सबको दिया है सर। तीसरी बड़ी बीमारी जो भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लगी हुई है वो है आर्थिक सुधार का झांसा, द होक्स ऑफ इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी। इस वित्तीय वर्ष के पहले क्वार्टर में भारत की आर्थिक विकास दर 13.5% थी। दूसरा क्वार्टर आते आते, जिसे फेस्टिवल क्वार्टर कहते हैं, जिसमें बड़े बड़े त्योहार आते हैं, जिसमें खपत भी बढ़ती है, उत्पादन भी बढ़ता है, मांग भी बढ़ती है, उस क्वार्टर में आर्थिक विकास दर 13.5% क्वार्टर 1 के मुकाबले गिरकर 6.3% पे आ गई सर, यानी कि आधी हो गई। और अगर आप पिछले साल के क्वार्टर सेकंड से दूसरी तिमाही से कंपेयर करें तो क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर 2021 में 8.4% दूसरी तिमाही की ग्रोथ थी, और इस बार इस क्वार्टर में जो अभी समाप्त हुआ 6.3% है। यानी कि भारत की आर्थिक विकास दर घटती जा रही है। और मुझे बड़े दुख से कहना पड़ रहा है कि जब वित्त मंत्री जी फरवरी में वित्तीय वर्ष 23-24 का बजट प्रेजेंट करेंगी, तब भारत की चौथी तिमाही की आर्थिक विकास दर 5% से भी नीचे होगी, विच इज अनप्रेसिडेंटेड इन रीसेंट टाइम सर। यह भारत की इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ की हालत है। और यह वर्ष तो जो बीत गया, इस वर्ष तो आपने आर्थिक जो विकास दर था उसकी ऐसी तैसी कर दी। अगले साल के आर्थिक विकास दर के आंकड़े सुनिए। सरकार चाहती है हम 8% पे आगे बढ़ें। वर्ल्ड बैंक कहता है वित्तीय वर्ष 23-24 में हम मात्र 6% पे ग्रो करेंगे। क्रिसिल कहता है हम 6% पे ग्रो करेंगे। ओईसीडी कहता है हम 5.7% पे ग्रो करेंगे। गोल्डमैन सैक्स कहता है हम 5.3% पे ग्रो करेंगे, और आईएमएफ कहता है हम 5.1% पे ग्रो करेंगे। यानी कि भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था में ऊपर जाने की बजाय हमारी व्यवस्था नीचे आ रही है सर। चौथी और एक बड़ी बीमारी जो भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लगी है वो है द डेट क्राइसिस। भारत सरकार की देनदारी, भारत सरकार पे चढ़ा बहुत बड़ा कर्ज। सर 1947 से लेकर 2014 तक, यानी कि इन 67 सालों में कई पार्टियों की सरकारें रहीं, केंद्र में कई पार्टियों ने शासन किया। इन 67 सालों में तमाम पार्टियों की सरकारों ने मिलकर कुल कर्जा 55 लाख करोड़ का लिया था, और बीते 8 सालों में 2014 से 2022 में इस बीजेपी की सरकार ने कुल कर्जा 85 लाख करोड़ रुपए लिया। यानी कि एक तरफ 67 सालों का, बीते 67 सालों का 55 लाख करोड़ का कर्जा, और इस सरकार ने अकेले 8 सालों में 85 लाख करोड़ रुपए का कर्जा ले लिया। मैं पूछना चाहता हूं इनसे कि ये तो मुफ्त की रेवड़ी भी नहीं बांटते, ये तो मुफ्त की रेवड़ी में भी विश्वास नहीं रखते, तो फिर इनका कर्जा इतना कैसे बढ़ता जा रहा है? ये पैसा जा कहां रहा है, किसकी जेब में जा रहा है? दोस्तवाद की नीति के तहत कौन से इनके दोस्त हैं जिन्हें फायदा पहुंचाया जा रहा है? ये मैं पूछना चाहता हूं सर 2014 में जब भाजपा की सरकार बनी तो गवर्नमेंट डेट टू जीडीपी रेशियो 40% था, मात्र 40%। आज गवर्नमेंट डेट टू जीडीपी रेशियो इस देश में 90% छू रहा है सर, 90%। और इस देश की डेट की स्थिति बढ़ाकर 1,55,000 करोड़ का 1,55,000 करोड़ का कुल कर्जा इस देश ने लिया सर। पांचवी बीमारी जो भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लगी हुई है, पांचवा बड़ा रोग, किसानों का संकट। सर मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि बड़े बड़े उद्योगपतियों के, अपने दोस्तों के बड़े बड़े लोन्स इन लोगों ने माफ कर दिए, लेकिन भारत देश के किसान की जो कर्जा था, जो डेट था, वो पिछले 8 सालों में 53% बढ़ा है, कम नहीं हुआ सर, 53% इंक्रीज हुआ है, जिसके चलते आज एवरेज फार्मर डेट, पर फार्मर डेट इस देश की 74,000 रुपए, यानी कि 74,000 रुपए का कर्जा आज देश के हर किसान के सर पर है सर। अगर किसान अपना कर्ज का भुगतान नहीं करता तो उसके नाम के नोटिस चिपकाकर किसान की बदनामी करती है यह सरकार, और बड़े बड़े उद्योगपति जो लाखों करोड़ रुपए डकार गए उन्हें बिजनेस क्लास में बिठा के देश से रवाना करती है सर ये सरकार। सर आज हमारा देश का अन्नदाता, देश का किसान जो हमारा पेट भरता है, जो हमें खाना देता है सर, आज वो जहर खाने को मजबूर हो गया है। एनसीआरबी का डेटा बताता है कि वित्तीय वर्ष 21-22 में 10,851 किसानों ने आत्महत्या करी। यानी कि इस देश में औसत रोज के 30 किसान आत्महत्याओं की आती है, 30 किसान रोज इस देश में आत्महत्या कर रहे हैं। हम आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं, एंड 30 फार्मर्स पर डे इन दिस कंट्री कमिट सुसाइड सर। मैं अपने ट्रेजरी बेंचेस पे बैठे मित्रों को यह भी कहना चाहूंगा कि किसान भोला है, भुलक्कड़ नहीं है। वो ये नहीं भूला कि 1 साल आपने उसे खुले आसमान में सड़कों पे आंदोलन करने के लिए उतारा था, जिसमें 800 से ज्यादा किसानों की शहादत हुई सर। और सर किसानों के बारे में मैं एक आपको बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी देना चाहता हूं। किसानों की आय दुगनी करने का वादा सरकार ने किया था कि हम बढ़ाएंगे और दुगनी करेंगे। आय दुगनी करना तो छोड़ दीजिए, स्टैंडिंग कमेटी ऑन एग्रीकल्चर की रिपोर्ट बताती है कि 4 से ज्यादा राज्यों में आय बढ़ाना तो दूर, 30% किसानों की आय घट गई सर, बढ़ाना तो दूर की बात। आय किसान की घटाने का काम इन लोगों ने किया, और एक ऐसे दौर में जब भारत की रूरल इन्फ्लेशन भारत की अर्बन इन्फ्लेशन से ज्यादा है, यानी कि गांव में रहना महंगा है शहरों के मुकाबले। सर मैं छठी बीमारी पे आता हूं। जो छठी बीमारी भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लगी हुई है सर, वो है प्राइवेट सेक्टर इन्वेस्टमेंट में गिरावट। 2 बड़े फायदे इस सरकार ने कॉर्पोरेट जगत को दिए। पहला, कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स कम करके 30% से घटाकर 22% कर दिया, जिसमें 1.5 लाख करोड़ का फायदा कॉर्पोरेट्स को दिया, और सरकार का हर साल का 1.5 लाख करोड़ का नुकसान कराया। और दूसरा बड़ा फायदा, अपने दोस्तों के उद्योगपतियों के पिछले 5 वित्तीय वर्षों में 10 लाख करोड़ रुपए राइट ऑफ कर देने, वो माफ कर देने। ये 2 बड़े फायदे उन्होंने, रियायतें।
ऑनरेबल मेंबर, यू हैव ट्वाइस मेड ऑब्जर्वेशंस अपने दोस्तों के। I have taken note of it. These are one second. Can't you keep your seat? Honorable Member Jaya Bachchan raised a very important issue. I wanted to reflect to it after you had concluded, but since you have continued with the two indiscretions, you need to be careful about it.
Okay.
Everything which you say here leads to consequences. As regards what the Honorable Member said, if someone is speaking, where is the occasion to make a shouting of that kind? I deprecate this, whether it is from this side or that side.
Thank you, sir.
Everyone is entitled to patient hearing, and let us not show aggression except in our thought process. Both sides are there, so be careful about it. Go ahead.
सर ये दो फायदे पहुंचाने के बाद, कॉर्पोरेट जगत को फायदे पहुंचाने के बाद जब सरकार से पूछा गया कि आपने ये फायदे क्यों दिए, तो सरकार कहती है इससे रोजगार उत्पन्न होगा। रोजगार तो उत्पन्न हुआ नहीं सर। भारत में आज बेरोजगारी की दर 45 साल में सर्वाधिक है। दूसरा, इन्होंने कहा कि वस्तुएं सस्ती हो जाएंगी बाजार में। महंगाई की दर 30 साल में सर्वाधिक है, महंगाई भी कम नहीं हुई। और तीसरी चीज जो सरकार हमें बताती है कॉर्पोरेट जगत को ये फायदे देने के लिए कि प्राइवेट निवेश इस देश में बढ़ेगा। सर मैं आपको बता दूं कि प्राइवेट निवेश Q1 फाइनेंशियल ईयर 22-23 में 20% से घटा है। प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट 2022 के अगर आप आंकड़ों की बात करें तो 22% से गिरी है। फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट 59% से घटा है। और GFCF जिसे ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन कहते हैं, जो इंडस्ट्री का इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है, जो इंडस्ट्री फिक्स्ड कैपिटल में इन्वेस्ट करती है, वो वित्तीय वर्ष 19-20 से लेकर आज तक लगभग सारे क्वार्टर्स में गिरता गया, 1-2 क्वार्टर छोड़ के। ये प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट के हालात हैं इस देश में। मैं कहना चाहूंगा माननीय वित्त मंत्री जी को कि आज से 2-3 महीने पहले इंडस्ट्री से बात करते हुए वित्त मंत्री जी ने कहा दैट व्हाई इज द इंडियन कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर नॉट इन्वेस्टिंग। उन्होंने उन्हें डांट के कहा कि आप लोग क्यों नहीं इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं। मैं बताना चाहता हूं क्यों नहीं इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं। इन्वेस्टमेंट रियायतें देने से नहीं आती, इन्वेस्टमेंट डिमांड क्रिएट करने से आती है। आपको मार्केट में मांग क्रिएट करनी पड़ेगी। जब मांग क्रिएट होगी तो उत्पादन भी होगा और खपत भी होगी। मैं एक और महत्वपूर्ण आंकड़ा आपके सामने रखना चाहता हूं सर। 7वीं बड़ी बीमारी जो भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लगी है, डीवैल्यूएशन ऑफ द इंडियन रूपी, गिरता हुआ रुपया। सर आज हम आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव बना रहे हैं और सरकार ने आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव वाले साल में रुपये को मार्गदर्शक मंडल में डाल दिया है। सर रुपया 82 रुपए हो गया है। जब ये सरकार बनी थी तो रुपया 60 रुपए। सर खत्म करने दीजिए। इस माय मेडन स्पीच सर प्लीज। सर
मेडन स्पीच
सर इस माय मेडन सर 2014 में सर 2014 में $1 जब इनकी सरकार आई थी वो 60 रुपए का मिलता था सर। आज $1 82 रुपए का हो गया। ये सरकार कहा करती थी, कई बड़े नेता इनके दिग्गज कहा करते थे कि जब रुपया गिरता है तो भारत की साख गिरती है, भारत की प्रतिष्ठा गिरती है। आज तो सर लगता है कि साख, प्रतिष्ठा और रुपया सब न्यूनतम स्तर पे आ गया सर। मैं आपको यह भी बताना चाहता हूं सर कि कोई भी अर्थशास्त्री आपको यह बताएगा कि जब रुपया गिरता है तो भारत के एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ते हैं और बढ़ने चाहिए भी सर। क्यों बढ़ते हैं? क्योंकि मान लीजिए कोई बहुत बड़ा बायर अमेरिका में बैठा है, वो भारत की एक वस्तु $5 पे खरीदता था। आज क्योंकि डॉलर मजबूत हो गया और रुपया कमजोर हो गया, वो वस्तु $3.5 में उसे मिल जाती है, तो वो ज्यादा ऑर्डर देता है, भारत के एक्सपोर्ट बढ़ते हैं। लेकिन आज एक बड़ी चौंका देने वाली स्थिति इस देश में है कि रुपया तो गिर रहा है, डॉलर मजबूत हो रहा है, लेकिन भारत के एक्सपोर्ट्स भी गिर रहे हैं। और एक्सपोर्ट्स क्यों गिर रहे हैं, यह मैं सवाल भारत की वित्त मंत्री जी से पूछना चाहता हूं। इस ईयर ऑन ईयर आंकड़ों की हम बात करें अक्टूबर 2022 की, तो 16.7% से भारत के एक्सपोर्ट्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हुए सर। यानी कि रुपया भी गिर गया और भारत के एक्सपोर्ट्स भी गिर गए। ना खुदा मिला ना विसाले सनम, ना इधर के रहे ना उधर के रहे। सर 8वीं बड़ी बीमारी जो भारत की अर्थव्यवस्था को लगी है वो है द फेलियर ऑफ द स्टार्टअप्स। पूरे देश में, पूरी दुनिया में घूम घूम कर सरकार के बड़े नेताओं ने कहा कि भारत अब एक स्टार्टअप नेशन बन गया है। दुनिया में भारत अब दुनिया की स्टार्टअप कैपिटल बोला जाएगा। मैं बताना चाहता हूं सर, क्या कभी वित्त मंत्री जी ने मुड़ के भारत के स्टार्टअप्स की हालत देखी? आज भारत में 10% से भी कम स्टार्टअप्स अपनी 5वीं सालगिरह पूरा करते हैं। ईयर ऑन ईयर 37% का डिक्लाइन स्टार्टअप में इन्वेस्टमेंट में है। और अनअकैडमी हो, ओला हो, कार्स 24 हो, वेदांतु हो, बाइजूस हो, मीशो हो, चार्ज भी हो, उड़ान हो, ये सारे बड़े स्टार्टअप्स, जो ये बड़े बड़े स्टार्टअप जिन्हें हम न्यू इंडिया की न्यू इकोनॉमी कहकर पूरे विश्व में प्रचारित करते हैं, इन सारे स्टार्टअप्स ने नौकरियां से लोगों को निकालकर हजारों लोगों को बेरोजगार करने का काम किया। सर मैं आता हूं डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स पर, सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स। ये मैं पढ़ रहा था सर, 3,25,757 करोड़ सरकार ने मांगे हैं। इसमें 1 लाख करोड़ एक सब्सिडी के लिए हैं, 80,000 करोड़ दूसरी सब्सिडी के लिए हैं, 45,000 करोड़ तीसरी सब्सिडी के लिए, और ऐसे सब्सिडी के पैसे मांग रहे हैं। सर ये डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स कहां है? ये तो डिमांड फॉर सब्सिडी है। और जब हम लोग दिल्ली में अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार गरीब आदमी को मुफ्त बिजली देती है, मुफ्त पानी देती है, मुफ्त शिक्षा देती है, मुफ्त स्वास्थ्य देती है, तो इनको हमारी सब्सिडी रेवड़ी लगती है सर। इनकी सब्सिडी, हमारी सब्सिडी रेवड़ी, ऐसा तो नहीं होगा सर। ये करें तो पुण्य, हम करें तो पाप। हमारी सब्सिडी भी सब्सिडी है, इनकी सब्सिडी भी सेफ। और मैं चाहूंगा सर इस देश में बहस होनी चाहिए और आप वो बहस कराएं सर कि रेवड़ी क्या है, सही मायने में क्या मुफ्त की रेवड़ी और क्या मुफ्त की रेवड़ी नहीं है। सर यहां बैठे सभी सांसदों को और लोकसभा में बैठे सभी सांसदों को सर 34 हवाई यात्राएं मुफ्त मिलती हैं। सर हमें 50,000 मुफ्त बिजली मिलती है प्रति एनम। सर 40 लाख लीटर मुफ्त मिलता है। सर अगर आज अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार 300 यूनिट बिजली मुफ्त दे देते हैं आम आदमी को, 20,000 लीटर मुफ्त दे देते हैं, तो इन्हें दर्द होता है।
अरे सुनो साहब, सुनो, शांति से सुनो सर, सुनने की हिम्मत रखो साहब। सर उनको तो बढ़ाओ ना।
सर मैं बताना चाहूंगा इस देश के मैं महत्वपूर्ण आंकड़ा दे रहा हूं सर। इस दुनिया में बस कंक्लूड कर रहा हूं सर, ओवर सर। इस दुनिया
प्लीज ऑनरेबल मेंबर प्लीज
सर, इस दुनिया में
राइट, बट प्लीज
सर, इस दुनिया में
लीव इट टू द चेयर,
सर इस देश,
प्लीज कंक्लूड।
बस कंक्लूड कर रहा हूं सर, मेरे बस 2 पन्ने रह गए सर। सर इस देश के नहीं 12 पढ़ चुका हूं सर। इस दुनिया में 40 ऐसे विकसित देश हैं सर, बस कंक्लूड कर रहा हूं सर। इस दुनिया में 40 ऐसे विकसित देश हैं। इस दुनिया सर बस कंप्लीट कर रहा हूं सर। इस दुनिया में 40 ऐसे विकसित देश हैं जो मुफ्त बिजली, मुफ्त पानी, मुफ्त शिक्षा देते हैं। सर वो इसलिए मुफ्त नहीं देते क्योंकि वो विकसित हैं सर, वो इसलिए दे पाते हैं, उन्होंने ये सारी चीजें मुफ्त देकर ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज में इन्वेस्ट किया, इसलिए विकसित बने।
डॉक्टर
सर अंत में मैं कंक्लूड कर रहा हूं सर, आखिरी आइटम पे सर सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स में पढ़ रहा था सर। सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स के अंदर एक बड़ा दिलचस्प लाइन आइटम है, मैं सबका ध्यान चाहूंगा सर। सर सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड फॉर ग्रांट्स में एक बड़ा दिलचस्प लाइन आइटम है, मैं पढ़ के सुनाना चाहूंगा। फॉर परचेज ऑफ लैंड एंड रेडी बिल्ट ऑफिस अकोमोडेशन फॉर द इन्फोर्समेंट डायरेक्टरेट 30 करोड़ रुपीस। सर खाली 30 करोड़ रुपए ईडी के लिए। इनका बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस देने वाला विभाग है, सारे नेताओं को जेल में डाल दिया। इसके लिए तो 30 लाख करोड़ लेना चाहिए, खाली 30 करोड़ से बात नहीं बनेगी। इनको 3 लाख करोड़ लेकर ईडी के थाने हर गली मोहल्ले में खोलने चाहिए और किसी मोहल्ले में कोई विपक्ष का नेता ना बचे, सबको जेल में डालने का काम करना चाहिए सर।
प्रसन्नता नंदा
सर अंत में
प्रसन्नता नंदा
सर आखिरी पेज है सर, आखिरी पन्ना है। मेरे 10 सवाल हैं बस सर, लास्ट मेरा पहला सवाल, मैं 10 सवाल वित्त मंत्री जी
30 सेकंड
सर 2 मिनट बस
30 सेकंड
मैं 10 सवाल पूछ के अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगा। पहला सवाल, डज द ऑनरेबल फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर नो the market price of 1 kg of wheat, 1 kg of rice and 1 liter of milk today? Sir, why has the government, second question sir, why has the government's mega budget presented in February 2022 failed to generate employment? My question number 3 sir, why is inflation in products which are produced in India, not imports like petrol and diesel, burning a hole in the common man's pocket? So question number 4, why is the private sector not investing despite repeated appeals by the Honorable Finance Minister? Question number 5, how many jobs have been created by way of handing out these favors of tax waivers and debt waivers to the corporate India? Question number 6, why is there a tremendous meltdown in India's new economy, that is the startup economy? Question number 7, how long before the rupee regains its value, sir, or is the government working towards hitting a century with the value of the Indian rupee? So question number 8, if the rupee is weakening, exports should rise. Exports are the second engine of our economy. Why are the exports falling? Question number 9, given the sad plight of Indian economy, where the growth rate is lesser than the inflation rate, has India formally entered stagflation?
Conclude.
And my last question is, when will the government reduce the tax burden on the common man, that is the GST?
Dr.
Thank you.
Prashant Nanda. Dr. Prashant Nanda. Good.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Honorable Finance Minister has presented two bills in this House, appropriation bill for discussion. Sir, whenever appropriation bill is placed in the August House, there is enough scope for the members to draw the kind attention of the Honorable Minister regarding center-state financial relationship. Here I would like to highlight on this point, sir. It's good to hear from the Honorable Minister that India is trying to achieve $5 trillion economy. Very good. But at the same time, we from the states want to grow too. But the financial relationship between center and state for the last 7.5 years is not satisfactory, sir. Sir, my point, sharing patterns are in CSS for Odisha at par with northeastern and Himalayan states. Sir, delinking of 8 centrally sponsored schemes from central support, discontinuance of special plan for KBK, as was told by my previous speaker, and central assistance for IAP districts, abolition of normal central assistance, and a steep increase in state share of centrally sponsored schemes have imposed severe financial burden on the state, sir. Sir, the unique geoclimatic condition of Odisha make it vulnerable to multiple and frequent natural disasters. During the period from 1900 to 2021, Odisha has experienced one or other disaster like flood, cyclone, or drought every year. These natural calamities pose a serious challenge to our economic development. Therefore, it has been a prolonged demand of Odisha that natural calamities should be included as a criterion for according special category status. Alternatively, states hit by major calamities may be declared as special focus states and granted benefits of special category status at par with northeastern and Himalayan states for a specific period. This will help reconstruction of infrastructure and restoration of livelihoods. This will not only help Odisha, but any other state of the country which is hit by a major natural calamity. I'm not speaking for Odisha, for many states also are facing the same problem. Will the central government allow the sharing pattern in CSS at par with northeastern and Himalayan states for the state of Odisha with vulnerability to frequent natural disasters and having a high percentage of population below poverty line? Sir, my next point is percentage of central share in SDA-RMF. As per the recommendation of 14th Finance Commission, the sharing pattern in the SDRF ought to be in the ratio of 90-10 for the center and states respectively. But the Union government in the explanatory memorandum accepted the recommendation of 14th Finance Commission with modification that the percentage share of the states will continue to be as before, that is 75-25. And that once GST is in place, the recommendations of 14th Finance Commission on Disasters Relief Fund would be fully implemented. Accordingly, Government of India released their share in the ratio of 90-10 for the year 2018-19, which was subsequently reduced to 75-25 with adjustment of excess released in 2018-19. It was intimated by Government of India that since GST has not been stabilized, the competent authority has decided that during 14th Finance Commission award period, center share contribution in state disaster response fund shall remain in the same ratio as it was in 13th FC award period. The 15th Finance Commission have also recommended sharing pattern in state disaster risk management fund at the ratio of 75-25 between center and states for the year 2021-22 to 2025-26. As per the Disaster Risk Index, that is DRI, worked out by the Commission for States, the score of Odisha is 90 out of 100, the highest among all states. Taking this into consideration, Odisha needs a special dispensation by allowing sharing pattern of 90-10 in SDRMF at par with northeastern and Himalayan states. And here is my question: will the Minister of Finance will allow sharing pattern of 90-10 in SDRMF as a special dispensation for Odisha? Next point comes discontinuance of off-budget central transfers for central sponsored schemes. Funds in respect of some centrally sponsored schemes, CSS, are being released by Government of India directly to the implementing agencies, bypassing state treasuries. Off-budget transfers without being routed through the consolidated fund of the state, and the state budget is a distortion in the fiscal transfer mechanism. This also results in parking of funds in the bank accounts of the implementing agencies. Will Government of India consider to stop this practice of off-budget transfers directly to the bank accounts of the implementing agencies in respect of all the schemes and release central assistance through the consolidated fund of the state from the year 2022-23? Then elimination of cess and surcharge on the customs duty and direct taxes. Sir, Article 270 of Constitution of India provides for sharing of the proceeds of all union taxes between the union and the states. However, the cess and surcharge levied by Government of India as per Article 271 of the Constitution do not form a part of the divisible pool. This share of cess and surcharge in gross tax revenue of the union government increased from 7.5% in 2000-2001 to about 20% in 2022-23. This denies the states their rightful share in the tax devolution. The central government, by using their taxation powers, have imposed cess and surcharge to finance their share of the centrally sponsored schemes while denying the same benefit to the states. At the same time, they have also schemes. It is iniquitous. Had this mop-up of additional resource been through change in tax rates, it would have been a part of the divisible pool, thereby benefiting these rates. Although many cesses on excise duty have now gone with the introduction of GST, these still remain direct taxes and other indirect taxes. Sir, as per Article 270 of the Constitution, basic excise duty is a part of divisible pool, and reduction of basic excise duty on petrol and diesel will reduce the divisible pool to that extent. On the one hand, the state share in central taxes is being reduced on account of reduction in the excise duty, and on the other hand, the consolidated fund of the union government will be augmented on account of the cess proposed to be levied. Government of India may therefore consider eliminating cess and surcharge on the customs duty, excise duty and direct taxes in a phased manner. Besides, Government of India should take steps making cess and surcharges part of the divisible pool if continued beyond a specified period by amendment of the Constitution. The next point is steep increase in state share of centrally sponsored schemes. Delinking of 8 centrally sponsored schemes, CSS, from central support, abolition of normal central assistance, and a steep increase in state share of centrally sponsored schemes has imposed severe financial burden on the state. For example, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. It was earlier fully funded by Government of India. Sir, it's a wonderful program. Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, it came in 2001. And by that time, the central and state share was 90 and 10. And it was wonderful. And people could see that the villages were connected to the town. Sir, now the share of Government of India has become down to 60% to 40%. Funding by the state government as matching share. Similarly, the sharing pattern under National Health Mission, NHM, and Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has been revised with states like Odisha having to contribute 40% share instead of 25% share provided earlier. Such change in sharing pattern of the centrally sponsored schemes has cast a huge additional financial burden on the states, sir, leading to much less resource for the state schemes appropriate to our needs. Will Government of India appreciate the genuine concerns of the state government and consider restoring the earlier sharing pattern of the above noted CSS so that more resources of the state would be available for the state schemes? Then I'll be talking about financial inclusion in the state. Sir, financial inclusion means the delivery of basic financial services, which includes opening of savings bank accounts, making available small loans, microcredit, micro-insurance products, and remittance facility, in addition to financial literacy and consumer protection at affordable costs. There are 12 public sector banks, 19 private sector banks, 2 RRVs, 1 state cooperative bank, and 5 small financial banks operating in the state. As on 30/6/2022, there are 5,705 B&M branches in the state, out of which 2,963, that is 51.94%, branches are located in rural areas, 1,515, 26.56% branches are in semi-urban area, and 1,227, that is 21.51% branches are in urban areas. Out of this total 7,481 ATMs in the state, 2,876 are located in rural areas, 2,423 are located in semi-urban areas, and 2,182 are located in urban areas. Financial inclusion in the state of Odisha has been constrained by lack of brick and mortar branches. Around 2/3 of our Gram Panchayats do not have a brick and mortar branches. National average of B&M branch and ATM per lakh of population as on 31/3/2021 are 18.12 and 22.32 respectively, whereas for Odisha respective ratios are 13.06 and 18.15. In order to reach the national average, at least 7,605 B&M branches and 9,369 ATMs should be present in Odisha. To achieve this national average figure, it is required to open at least 1,900 B&M branches and 1,888 ATMs in the unbanked or underbanked GPs of the state. Finance Department in Constitution with RBI, NABARD and SLBC has selected 270 unbanked GPs for opening of brick and mortar branches by banks. SLBC also allotted 45 the above unbanked GPs among banks with a request to open B&M branches by 31/3/2023. Functioning of business correspondents appointed by banks is not effective, as they are not offering all types of financial services which are available with the bank branches. The people of the unbanked areas are deprived of getting access to affordable banking services due to lack of brick and mortar branches in most of the GPs. The same has been highlighted in various forums like SLVC meetings, interstate zonal council meetings, etc. Will Honorable Minister of Finance be pleased to inform regarding the steps taken by the government to provide banking service in unbanked GPs in the state of Odisha, and instruct the scheduled commercial banks to open more brick and mortar branches and ATMs in the unbanked GPs in the state of Odisha? I have asked many questions, sir, through my statements, and I would definitely want that. I have been doing this every year, but I'm getting answer, but I'm not getting in, it is not being taken care, but the whole problem is not being solved. The same problem I have been putting every year. I hope this time I should think positive that our Honorable Minister will give us a positive reply. And I have already explained how the financial relationship between the center and state has not been satisfactory. It has to be satisfactory. Thank you very much.
Thank you. माननीय V. Vijay Sai Reddy.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, Deputy Chairman, sir, I am in your hand, sir. If I speak about the appropriations during UPA regime, they'll pounce on me. If I talk about the appropriations of current, then they'll pounce on me.
So you're in the hands of House, not me.
You will have to protect me, sir.
Please.
Sir, first of all, I need to address the issues that have been raised by the former Honorable Finance Minister, Mr. Chidambaram. And my observations are the issues, or the points what I am raising may be construed or treated as supplement to the reply to the Honorable present Finance Minister, Madam. Sir, Honorable former Finance Minister, Mr. Chidambaram has raised 6 issues, and out of 6 issues, 3 are not pertaining to appropriation, so hence they need not be answered. Sir, the other 3 issues, Mr. Chidambaram was curious to know how much of 11.1% nominal GDP growth is on account of inflation and how much is on account of real growth. Sir, perhaps my answer to that, perhaps Mr. Chidambaram is the best judge to talk about the inflation, given that during his tenure, during the tenure of UPA, as a finance minister, inflation reached all-time high of 19.93% in November 2013. So Mr. Chidambaram should have kept in mind before raising this issue, sir. Sir, I would like to bring certain facts to this House.
Please, let him
speak. Don't disturb me, don't disturb me. No, sir. Sir, UPA 1, the inflation is 5.8%. UPA 2, double digit, 10.4%. And current government, it is 4.7%. All-time low inflation of the existing current government, sir. Sir, then coming to corporate tax. Coming to corporate tax, which Mr. Chidambaram has raised. Sir, Mr. Chidambaram spoke about the declining share of corporate tax
please.
In the total pool of tax revenue.
Manoj, it's not nice. Please,
I am in your hands, sir. You have to protect me.
No.
I have already brought it to your notice. They have no right to speak. I am talking about the appropriation bill. Sir, Chidambaram spoke about the declining share of corporate taxes.
Please, in total, let him speak. Please,
total pool of tax revenue.
आप सब मेरी बात सुने तो चलने दें उनके बहस को अच्छी तरह. Please.
Sir, Mr. Chidambaram has misled this House by quoting figures from the pandemic year, that is Corona, when corporate tax was purposely lowered by Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji to provide relief to the COVID patients, 2019. That is not the year which should be compared with the current year by Mr. Chidambaram. Sir, instead, Mr. Chidambaram quoted the data of pandemic years 2018-19 and 2019-20 when the corporate collections was all-time high, 32% during their period. Sir, Mr. Chidambaram should have kept in mind. Sir, for the third point, sir, doubling of GDP. Sir, Mr. Chidambaram is questioning why India's GDP has not doubled in the last 10 years. This is the third issue what he has raised. Sir, by comparing on the global scale, will show in 2014, when he has stepped down as finance minister, in 2014, when his government left, or his government was thrown out, the GDP was 10th highest in the world. 10th highest in the world. When he has stepped down as a finance minister, after 9 years of the current government, non-Congress government, I'm putting it in this way, India's GDP is now 5th highest. So Mr. Chidambaram should know these facts. Sir, I strongly believe India's GDP has truly doubled on the global scale. So all three issues I have addressed, and there is a reason for answering for this question.
Please let him speak. Please.
Sir, coming to the present appropriations. Sir, sanctity of the, now I'm little critical on NDA side, and you will have to protect me if they answer. Sir, Article 115 of the Constitution allows the centre for incur additional expenditure when the budgeted amount is found to be insufficient. They have every right to ask for the supplementary demands and appropriations. Sir, and it is Madam FM has stated that supplementary expenditure is needed to respond to the situations that are developing on the ground. Sir, the situations that are developing on the ground are not new. They are there even when the original budget was presented. In fact, sir, these situations prevailed at the time of the budget also. That's what I am trying to say. Sir, I myself, during the budget speech, raised these issues, and more particularly that three allocations, that is food, fuel and fertilizers. They are not new. They were there. The situations were prevailing at that point of time. Now, fertilizers in March 2022, I requested the government, Honorable Finance Minister, to raise the fertilizer subsidy, which the government did not act upon. And secondly, sir, Narega. And I made representation to the Rural Development Minister, which has gone unheeded. And it has taken 9 months for the government to act on that. Sir, fuel. In 2022, I have requested the government, in my own speech, that the government to reduce the taxes on fuel, but nothing has happened. Now government is realizing. Sir, the center, these supplementary grants make it very clear that the center has not acted promptly, and it could have acted at the time of budget itself, sir. Sir, supplementary grants should be treated as an exception to the exception and not the rule. So when they have thought of, when they were aware that these situations were prevailing even at that point of time, these supplementary demands at this point of time could have been included in the original budget itself, sir. Sir, the next issue is financial problems that are being faced by Andhra Pradesh government. I'll have to squarely blame UPA for this. And it is Mr. Chidambaram who has drafted the bill, AP Reorganization Act. And they have passed the bill amid din. And they have closed the doors of Lok Sabha and then passed the bill. And who is responsible for that? It is Mr. Chidambaram and with his leader, Madam. And everybody, all are aware that for the present miseries of Andhra Pradesh, truncated Andhra Pradesh, that is divided Andhra Pradesh, the objective of Mr. Chidambaram is totally different. He has a different motive for that. I'm not trying to raise that issue because that is not part of appropriation. And my only concern is, center is ending the GST compensation. I'm coming to Andhra problem, specific problems. Center is ending the GST compensation for the states. On the other hand, Andhra Pradesh is facing financial difficulties due to inflation at the center, inaction of the center. Sir, bifurcation issues. Firstly, center has failed to resolve the pending bifurcation issues under the AP reorganization. They have the financial bearing. They have the economic bearing. That's why I'm raising this issue, sir. Center has miserably failed because there are umpteen number of issues that have left unaddressed by the center, and I request the Honorable Finance Minister to address those bifurcation issues. Sir, Andhra Pradesh has been fighting for years to get fair, equitable and expeditious division of assets of the composite state of Andhra Pradesh. That is not happening. Center is not intervening. What is the result? The result is that we have Andhra Pradesh state government has no other option but to approach the Supreme Court of India and by filing the special leave petition. Sir, this is the pathetic situation of inaction of the central government. Sir, Polavaram, Honorable Minister for Irrigation is not there. Sir, but the implementation of Polavaram irrigation project has been very, very flawed. Very, very flawed. Who is responsible? Again, this is UPA government. Sir, center has allocated funds at 2010 and 11. The rates which they have given, finalized the Polavaram project with the rates of 2010 and 11 for the project that is implemented in 2022. Which contractor will do it, sir? Will any contractor would like to incur the loss on the project? No. No state government can implement it. And center also can't implement it. Sir, this is like expecting a petrol at 50 rupees now when the petrol price is prevailing at 100 rupees plus, sir. Now, can we get the petrol at 50 rupees? If that is the logic that is applied to this Polavaram project, how the central government can expect Polavaram project to be completed at 2010-11 prices, which is impossible. Sir, how can this crucial project be completed if the center keeps strangling, I'm using the word strangling the central state government by allocating for its nominal funds, insignificant funds at every stage. Sir, these are all the, instead of compensating Andhra Pradesh for financial issues, it faced the center is giving stepmotherly treatment towards the state of Andhra Pradesh, sir. I request the Honorable Finance Minister, Madam, to take note of these issues and give the people of Andhra Pradesh what they rightfully entitled and deserve, sir. Sir, the next point, sir. I have 5 more minutes, sir.
Yes, you have.
Sir, privatization of PSUs. It has a bearing because there are some internal resources. The 1 lakh and odd crores are being internally generated, and then Government of India is asking for the supplementary allocations. Center has allocated almost 25% of the supplementary grants to the tune of 1.09 lakh crore for fertilizer subsidy. Fine. Sir, of this, almost one fourth is generated towards the import of fertilizers, geared towards the import of fertilizers. This highlights the need for India to become Atmanirbhar for its fertilizer needs. My point is, sir, India should be self-sufficient in terms of agricultural and agriculture needs and using the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Yes. Sir, the center has been unable to meet the fertilizer production targets. It has set the target of producing 41.5 lakh tons of fertilizer, but it fell short by 15%. On the other hand, sir, my question to the Honorable Finance Minister is that when we have numerous fertilizer PSUs, which in the country that can take up the challenge, but instead the government, central government, plans to privatize as many as 8 fertilizer PSUs. I am questioning the government. When we talk about the Atmanirbhar Bharat on one side, on the other hand, when there are PSUs, Navaratnas, and producing and contributing to the growth of the nation, why do we want to privatize them? In fact, they are generating the profit. Last year, sir, all these, please do not disturb me. I am at the hands of the...
Please speak. Yes, sir.
These PSUs collectively made a net profit of 1,000 crores during the pandemic year, sir, 2020-21. When these PSUs are making profit, where is the need for privatize them? Sir, these 8 PSUs are Brahmaputra Valley Fertilizer Corporation, Fertilizers and Chemicals Travancore, Aravali Gypsum and Minerals, Madras Fertilizer Limited, and National Fertilizers Limited, Rashtriya Chemicals and Fertilizers, Fertilizer Corporation of India, and Hindustan Fertilizer, Corporation Limited. These are all the 8 PSUs which are profit making and going to be privatized. My question to the Honorable Finance Minister, where is the need for privatization of these issues? Sir, then low per capita GDP. Sir, Madam has spoken, FM Madam has spoken about India's biggest fast-growing economy in the world. I appreciate, sir. Sir, we all, sir, Madam has stated that we all surpassed our former colonizers, that is UK, to become 5th largest economy in the world. This is definitely a great achievement. Sir, at the same time, what has to be kept in mind is India ranks 145th when it comes to per capita of GDP, as compared to UK at 22nd. Sir, this means that economic productivity of 1.4 billion Indians, Indians are 1.4 billion, sir, is almost equal to that of 67 million Britishers, sir. So it is not comparable. So 67 million Britishers can't be compared with that of 1.4 billion, sir. Sir, GDP percentage of growth, in terms of percentage of growth, it is 12% from 2017 to today, and per capita GDP is 7.6%, and we all appreciate it, but we need to take steps to further improve it, and we need to justify it also, sir. In fact, I request the Madam to respond to this August House as to what are all the plans of the central government, Ministry of Finance, to improve the economic productivity in the country, sir. Almost over. Sir, last point, vacancies. Sir, there are 40 lakh vacancies and are almost out of sanctioned strength of 40 lakhs, there are almost 10 lakh vacancies in the central government departments and ministries. Sir, this means 1 out of every 4 post is vacant. Sir, the 3 crucial employers in the country is Railways, Defence and Home Ministry. Alone account for 7 lakh vacancies. During the current year, only 1.5 lakh vacancies appointments have been made by the central government. Sir, I request the Honorable Finance Minister, Madam, that rural employment is declining, that it may be true. But what about the urban unemployment? Sir, which reached almost 9% of November 2022, sir. Sir, in conclusion, I would like to say that there is no doubt that Indian economy is resilient. We have survived the global recessions, and worldwide, with this, we support the supplementary demands and grants, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Manevi Vijay Sai Reddy. Message from Lok Sabha, Secretary General.
Sir, with your kind permission, I rise to report that the Lok Sabha at its sitting held on the 19th December 2022 passed the Maritime Anti-Piracy Bill 2022. I lay a copy of the said bill on the table.
Thank you. Manya Anil Hegde ji.
आदरणीय उपसभापति महोदय, पहले आपको मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं, आपने मुझे बोलने के लिए समय दिया. Sir, I rise to speak on the appropriation bill demands for grants and supplementary demands, sir. Sir, बिहार के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी तो जो स्पेशल कैटेगरी स्टेटस के बारे में जो मांग किए हैं, विशेष दर्जा, जातीय जनगणना के संबंध में उन्होंने मांग किए हैं, और बिहार में आप जानते हैं कि वहाँ का फ्लड हैवॉक्स जो होता है, इसके लिए जो फंड्स के मांग किए हैं, तो इसका फंड्स के मैं समझता हूँ कि इसके फंड्स के अभाव के कारण नहीं दिया जा रहा है. ये सब हमारा मांग को पूरा नहीं किया जा रहा है. जैसे अभी चिदम्बरम साहब ने बताया कि अगर मान लीजिए फंड्स नहीं है, पैसा नहीं, नो मनी बोरो करो करके, तो मैं कैसा भी हो, मैं सरकार से मैं मांग करता हूं कि हम लोगों का जो डिमांड्स जो है इसको पूरा करना चाहिए. और जैसे हम लोग यहाँ पर अप्रोप्रिएशन बिल के संबंध में हम लोग विषय पर हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पर रामलीला मैदान में आप ही लोगों का संगठन भारतीय किसान संघ के लोग जो रैली कर रहे हैं, जो मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस के बारे में मांग कर रहे हैं और ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग के संबंध में मांग कर रहे हैं। सर, हमें खुशी है और आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी जो सिक्किम को ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग के संबंध में उन्होंने एक मॉडल स्टेट बताए और पूरा देश में हम ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग करना चाहते हैं। अभी सुशील मोदी साहब अभी जो अपना भाषण में कहें कि इसके लिए सब्सिडी के लिए फर्टिलाइजर के लिए 2 लाख करोड़ सब्सिडी हम लोगों का सरकार ने दिया है। मैं समझता हूं ये तो ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग के लिए ही, ऑर्गेनिक फर्टिलाइजर के लिए ही ये सब चीज़ दिया होगा। सर, मेरा जानकारी ये है कि देश में जो बहुत अभी जो विजय साई रेड्डी जी ने बताया कि हम लोग फर्टिलाइजर में आत्मनिर्भरता होना चाहिए, सेल्फ सफिशिएंट होना चाहिए, लेकिन मेरा जो जानकारी ये है सर, हम लोग इसके बजाय बाहर से जो डेडली पेस्टिसाइड्स फर्टिलाइजर सब हम लोग इंपोर्ट करने जा रहे हैं। जैसे हम लोगों के देश में जो किसान लोगों ने ग्लाइफोसेट का भारी मात्रा में देश का सरकार का बहुत पैसा खर्चा करके जो छिड़काव कर रहे हैं, इससे लोगों का स्वास्थ्य पर जो असर हो रहा है सर, जो वैसे ही जो बेरोजगारी, ग्रामीण महिलाओं के साथ जो बेरोजगारी बढ़ाने वाली हर्बिसाइड, जो वीड किलर जो भारी मात्रा में जैसे ग्लूफोसिनेट को भारी मात्रा में छिड़काव करने के लिए जो अमेरिका से जो टेक्नोलॉजी लाया जा रहा है, जिससे लोगों का स्वास्थ्य पर बहुत बुरी असर पड़ रहा है और सरकार का पैसा ऐसे चीज के बारे में खर्चा नहीं करना चाहिए। साथ में ये प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो प्राथमिकता है जो उसके विरोध में है। और अंत में मैं यही बात बोलना चाह रहा हूँ एक उदाहरण दे करके। सरकार में जो नेशनल बायोडाइवर्सिटी अथॉरिटी है, PPVFRA, प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ फार्मर्स राइट्स एंड राइट्स अथॉरिटी जो है, और GEC जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग कमिटी अप्रूवल कमिटी जो है, अप्राइजल कमिटी, ये जो है रेगुलेटर है, इस पर सरकार जो बहुत पैसा खर्च किए हैं, लेकिन ये संस्था क्रॉस पर्पसेस में काम कर रहे हैं सर। और मैं एक उदाहरण आपको दे रहा हूं, जैसे कि धारवाड़ विश्वविद्यालय के वाइस चांसलर और अमेरिका का जो मॉन्सेंटो का जो कंपनी और उसका सब्सिडरी यहाँ का मैको जो है, यहाँ पर जो बायोपायरेसी का काम किए हैं और जो जैविक चोरी का काम किए हैं, जिस पर एनवायरमेंट सपोर्ट ग्रुप नाम से जो संगठन है, नेशनल बायोडाइवर्सिटी अथॉरिटी पर एक जो मुकदमा चलाया है और उसमें देश का ये जो बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी एक्ट का सेक्शन 40 का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल वैलिडिटी को उन्होंने चैलेंज किया है, जो अभी उसके ऊपर नेशनल बायोडाइवर्सिटी अथॉरिटी ने केंद्र सुप्रीम कोर्ट में स्टे लाया है, जिसके वजह से 9 साल से ये चीज यहाँ पर पेंडिंग रहा है, जिसके कारण जो सेक्शन 40 जो बायोलॉजिकल डाइवर्सिटी एक्ट में जो हम लोगों का जो प्रजाति है, जो कई सारा वैरायटी है जो प्लांट्स का, ये इसका प्रोटेक्शन जो खत्म करने का जो उसका जो पावर है, उसके कारण ये जो 9 साल का जो कोर्ट का जो में जो पेंडिंग है उसको यूज करके लगभग 400 वैरायटी का पर ये प्रोटेक्शन हटाया गया है सर। इसलिए मैं आपके द्वारा सरकार से निवेदन करता हूं कि ये जो नेशनल बायोडाइवर्सिटी अथॉरिटी और प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ प्लांट वैरायटीज एंड फार्मर्स राइट्स अथॉरिटी PPVFRA और जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग अप्राइजल कमिटी, ये लोग अपना काम ठीक से करें। ये इतना मैं बोल मेरा बात खत्म करता हूँ।
धन्यवाद माननीय हेगड़े जी। माननीय वीरेंद्र कुमार वैश्य।
Thank you very much, sir. I standing here today to support the appropriation bill submitted by Honorable Finance Minister, sir. Today, world economy passing through a very critical time. Due to the Ukraine-Russia war and due to the COVID-19, world economy affect very badly. It is known to everybody, Germany, one of the most developed countries of the world. But today, Germany economy is under regression, sir. Equally, sir, UK economy is in very bad shape. Sir, everybody is spoken about the China. So during this period, economic growth of China also declined like anything. In this critical time, sir, due to the strong leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, Indian economic growth is projected near about 7% by the International Monetary Fund. This is a very good job, sir. In this critical time, we must admit, we must compliment our government, sir. Sir, our government, under the leadership of Narendra Modi government, is a agriculture, farmers-friendly government, sir, and which is reflected today totally in the appropriation bill, sir. In the appropriation bill, a major percent of money is going to spend for fertilizer, sir. And fertilizer, in addition, sir, not only fertilizer, major percent of money from this appropriation bill is going to spend for the subsidy to the fertilizer, sir. It means this government is totally farmers-friendly government, and the government don't like to impose more burden on farmer. Only for that reason, subsidy is farmer is increasing anything, sir. Sir, in here, many speakers spoken about the China, including former Prime Minister, former Finance Minister Chidambaramji also expressed questioning about relation between India, China, and capacity of India to fight with China, sir. But I am from northeastern region, sir. You cannot compare China because we know to what is happening in the Indo-China border, sir. Sir, don't compare India with China with 1960, sir, because this is not Congress government. Sir, now government is not by Jawaharlal Nehru. Now government is led by Narendra Modi ji. Yes. Sir, recently, it is known to everybody, the matter was discussed many times in the House, sir, about the China tried to enforce Indian land in the Arunachal. But I salute to Indian soldier. Very courageously, Indian soldier fight with China, and they defeated the China, and China failed to capture our land, sir. We must compliment our government, sir. Sir, speaking to very easy, sir. When China economy today is declining, at that time, Indian economy is rising, sir. In this critical time, in the COVID period, in the Russia-Ukraine war, due to the petroleum price decrease every part of the world, in this critical time, our economic growth is projected 7%. It is good, sir. Sir, I like to give one small example. Sir, today China is crying. Yes, sir, today China is crying like anything because only less than 30% people in China is vaccinated. Due to the less numbers of vaccinated in China, they suffer and they're thinking about the death threat of the Chinese people, and China, every part of the China, now they're imposing lockdown, and there's a revolt against the Chinese government in the every part of the China, sir. But we should salute our government, sir. When China failed to vaccinate the people, at that time, India has vaccinated more than 220 crore people, sir. So almost all adult citizens in our country now is vaccinated, sir. This is the greatest achievement of our government, sir. Sir, during the period, our capital expenditure is our country's increase, sir. When capital, give me 2 minutes, sir.
Please conclude.
Okay.
There are
Yes, sir.
more
Yes.
speakers.
I'll try to conclude, sir, within 2 minutes, sir.
Please conclude.
Sir, our capital expenditures are increasing. When capital expenditure is increasing, sir, automatically, sir, money flow in the market is also going to be increased, sir. Sir, new airport is coming. Sir, new railway bridge is coming. New connectivity is coming, and job creation already started, sir. And due to the started of it will be help to curb the little how it will be help to curb the unemployment situation is our country, sir. Sir, one more thing I like to add in this year. Sir, Assam tea industry is a famous industry. My colleague Prabhita Margherita a few days back raised in the issue in the House, and he said in the 2023, 200 years of Assam tea industry will complete, sir.
Please.
So I like to request Honorable Minister to encourage to boost the tea industry of Assam. Government should spend more money because Assam tea industry is playing important role to earning foreign exchange, sir. At last,
Thank you.
I like to request
Please conclude.
connectivity of the Asian country is the call of
Please,
the hour.
please
sir.
conclude.
If
Manya
connectivity
Virendra
Asian country will be, then automatically
I am
there will
calling other
tourism
speaker now.
industry, other
Please.
industry will be improved
Please,
in Assam,
please
sir.
conclude.
With
Please
this, sir, I standing here to support the bill, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
माननीय सदस्यगण, सिर्फ आपकी सूचना के लिए 11 सदस्यों ने कल बोलने के लिए अपना नाम दिया है और कृपया एज पर रूल्स बहस शुरू होने के आधे घंटे पहले अपना नाम भेजें। लास्ट तक आप नाम भेजते हैं तो चेयर को संचालन में बहुत मुश्किल होती है। ये आपसे अनुरोध है। नाउ अब्दुल वहाब जी, नॉट प्रेजेंट। डॉक्टर एम थम्बी दुरई।
Chairman, sir, for giving the opportunity to speak on the supplementary budget. The government has sought the gross additional expenditure of 4,35,938.87 crore as the additional they are asking. And also, sir, the main part to match this, they are spending more on for the fertilizer. And I'm happy that now Deputy Vice Chairman is now presiding over, which I am going to certain things may be uneasy to you, we have to bear it.
Nothing.
Thank you very much.
I am the Vice Chairman now.
No,
I am the Vice Chairman now.
Sir, you know very well, we are discussing about the budget which the central government asked additionally. I am presiding of the central government as Modi ji government is spending more on fertilizer for farmers because the economy depends on development economy, agriculture, education, health, defense. These are the subjects more important. For that agriculture to protect as soon as when Modi ji has taken over, is giving more importance to the sector and getting more funds. Therefore, this is necessary due to this Ukrainian war, necessary. That is why they start the more fund for this. And also, health sector also, pandemic situation, Modi ji took a lot of efforts to allocate more funds and save the lives of the Indians and became the model to the world. That way it has, the government has functioned, sir. Sir, now coming, because always you know very well,